Oh, well, that's okay. How you doing, chat? I mean, this is Bear. Welcome to the podcast. Hope you're having a good one.
All right, we should be good now. I forgot we haven't done a Difo stream through the OBS Studio since I changed headsets. So
Yeah, everything's finicky on there.
Yeah, it was on default device and it was wanting to go off.
But man, they're being picky now. Chin is saying change the title of the stream.
What's wrong with the title of the stream?
I don't know. I can't even see the title.
Oh, why didn't it update there?
Oh, there's the wife. The wife said, "Hey, babe, how's it going?" Mrs. Everyday Americans in the house.
Oh, that's really weird. It shows.
Try refreshing your screen. Sometimes I know with OBS for the streamers on our end, we'll update it, and then you, the viewers, need to do a refresh of your screen, like close it and then reopen it if you're on a mobile device, or just hit that refresh button at the top left corner of your browser, and then it should update. I'm gonna sit back now. I feel like I'm just trying to help, but I feel like I'm taking over.
Oh, you're good. No. It's fine. As long as you're talking while I'm trying to do this right now, it works out perfect. Well, it's really weird that there's no controller or anything in here.
It's good now.
Perfect.
My wife says it's good now. That's Mrs. Everyday America. If you can't tell, that is the missus.
I'd hope it was your missus and not somebody else's missus.
I mean, maybe I got some random fucking fan people out there. I hope not. Stay away. The reason I got a PO box for a reason, and I don't give out my real home address for mailing purposes.
All the creepers. It's that name. Yeah. It's the name and the sexy voice. They can't not creep on you.
It is exactly. I mean, they minimize the reason I've gotten so many viewers is they like minimize the screen or like put it in their pocket so they don't have to see me. They just get to hear the voice.
I don't know. Even seeing you kind of makes it work, man.
I mean, come on now.
I'm not gonna lie, it's worth looking at. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, especially the everyday American. I mean,
come on. We got this behind me. I mean, what else do you need?
Exactly. I mean, all I got is black stuff, so I just kind of blend into what's going on here.
I know. Where is you? I see like a floating head. If it wasn't for the white walls behind you, all I would see is just like a head and a neck.
We're just gonna add a little bit to it. Screw the green screen. We're just gonna black everything out and make it all flow. You don't need to see anything that's going on there.
You don't need to see that. Who needs a green screen when you just need some black paint for the walls behind you?
Oh yeah, just dark it out. I'm gonna get that true black to where you can't see anything. The one that actually absorbs like 99% of color light.
Dude, that stuff is insane. I was watching a YouTube video a while ago, and this dude, his followers wanted him to paint like his whole room, in that color. But he ended up building a small version of a room in his garage, and then painted it. Dude, I would be trippy. I'd kind of be. I don't want to see that. I'd want to go in there. I might freak out a little bit, but it'd be dope.
It's kind of like those little bubbles you sit in with water where you float. The suspending things.
I want to do that.
I do too. That one is supposed to be a little bit better than sitting in a black room. They say you can go a little nutty just sitting in a black room.
Yeah, I want to do those tubes. I think there's a place in my town that does it. If I Googled it, I think there's one that does it. I'm really tempted to go try it one day.
We actually just got one here last year, and it's supposed to be pretty good. I don't know about being left alone with my own thoughts for an hour, because I mean it's dead silent. You're sitting in. It's got just enough, I'm sure you've read into it, but just enough salt in the water where you just float suspended. So you just float there. You don't, no up, no down, no buoyancy, no shaking, no nothing, and dead silent. It's just you and your own thoughts.
Like, a lot of fans be fun.
Yeah. Oh, we cut out, lost you a little bit there, but we're good to go. Good old Discord. I don't know. Discord's so taxing. I don't understand why it's like that.
Yeah. Now, I'm not a computer guy, so
there's some settings I've had to dig through, and I got to double check what they are, what I had to change on mine, but I had some issues before with the old PC setup. But yeah, so before we get a little too off course, which I know I have a tendency to do,
Hey, that's okay. Keeps it fun.
exactly. That's why I don't try and keep to too much of a schedule. Last Sunday I was on call for work, so it ended up being like 2 hours, but I kind of tried to keep it a little bit somewhat on track. But with for now on the way things are going to start going, I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so we'll get right into how our questionnaire. You ready? You ready for our pamphlet of questions? You ready for the
Hey, let's do it. I got my notebook, guys. I spent some time on this last night. Well, a little bit, you know.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. So to get right into it, my favorite question. That's obviously why it's my first one. Plus, it also fits a little bit better with everything. And anybody that's new in here watching, the same questions I will ask in interview on every interview of every streamer I do, and then we just kind of go with the flow in between as things go. But my favorite question: what got you into streaming, EDA?
Honestly, it was just kind of why not. So around this time last year, yeah, we'll get a little personal here in the podcast. We'll get a little personal. My wife and I, we were separated. You know, we had some things. I had a lot of personal issues that I needed to work on, and best thing for the family that I felt. You know, she didn't necessarily feel the same way, but the best way I felt was to, you know, kind of just be on my own for a little bit and work through my issues. Now, the first few months, of course, weren't good. I drank a lot, but I got back into playing video games quite a bit. And me and a buddy, we were playing with this other dude. He just randomly started broadcasting. And so he was streaming. So then I was like, you know what? He's like, you know, we should all stream. It'd be fun. So I was like, okay. So I just hit that. I just hit that go live button. This was back when Mixer was still a thing.
Okay.
And I could just do it straight from the Xbox. And then I finally got like a webcam and a mic. And I started doing a little bit on Mixer. I didn't really care too much about it. I was just like, whatever. And then I moved back home with my family. We reunited, and I cleaned out the garage. And then, you know, I've been out of the military for like 5 years, and I'm constantly trying to find like a new hobby, something that I feel I can get enjoyment out of, something that'll keep my mind steady, something give me focus. Because if I don't have something to focus on, then my mind tends to wander in some dark places. So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start streaming. So I've had a Twitch account for years. I've followed a lot of people on Twitch. I've had a Twitch account for years. But my first like official, I'm going to do this thing was October 17th. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hit that go live button. I'm going to share my mediocre gameplay with the world. You know, I'm the world's okayest gamer. It says that in my bio. I'm the world's okayest gamer.
I probably would have read that as okayest, but
yeah, I'm the world's okayest gamer. I'm not the best, not the worst, but I'm not the best, except at Ark. Kind of suck at Ark. But I just figured, why not? You know, you never know what's going to happen. You never know who you're going to meet. Let's have some fun with it. I mean,
sure.
that's kind of the reason why I was like, fuck it. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? It doesn't work out. Oh no.
I know, right?
I'll find something else.
Move on to different ventures. Yeah, that's completely understandable, man. I mean, because like I've talked about why I got into it was kind of help somebody, but my big push too was, like I said, talking about personal things. I forget the exact month of it, but towards the I think it was about a month before I started streaming. We had some pretty bad shit go down, and I almost lost my wife to a bad miscarriage. That luckily we found an amazing doctor that got into things, and she made it through. And that's kind of what gave me the that kick of, oh shit, everything can be gone in the blink of an eye. And need to build something for myself and get everything going. But yeah, it's funny how the crazy life changes, the things that you wouldn't expect to happen, and then just kind of flip your whole mindset.
Yeah, it's true. You never know what life's going to throw at you. The older you get, the more curveballs life throws at you. I know you and me and a lot of other communities, we have younger viewers, and you know, Some of them go through some things, but you know what? It's just another curveball in the road. So,
If
you
there
know,
was if there was no curveballs,
just
how exciting would it be?
yeah, exactly. I mean, my life has been full of curveballs. I mean, I could literally do an entire podcast for starting from 2.5 years old and work my way through everything, which I've done. I've literally done story time on my stream. And it's like, look, you know, your life could start off really shitty, but eventually things will get better. It may not seem like it, but it will. And that's what streaming is. Streaming to me is just another curveball. Like I never thought that I would be a person who would be like, I'm going to be in front of a camera talking to people.
I can, yeah, 100%. I feel exactly the same on that because I mean, growing up, I didn't play a lot of video games. Never really got into computers. I just got into computers the middle to end of last year, about the middle of last year. Never really. I could start one up. I could shut one down, probably not properly. I was pretty good at breaking them and finding ways to make them not work. And now I build them.
I was so smart with computers that my mom called me. I was in like 6th or 7th grade, and I was in middle school, and I remember this clearly. I was taking a math test, and I get called to the office in the middle of a test. It's my mom on the phone. And she's like, "How do I turn the computer on? I'm trying to do taxes." I'm like, "Well, there's a button on the back of the computer that says on off. Turn it on." And there you go. That's about that's about what I know how to do with computers. Like I've learned a little bit through streaming of like how to like set certain things up, like OBS, which I still have a lot of help with. Shout out to Redwood Judge for like helping me with OBS and shit. But I don't know shit about computers. Like everyone talks specs and stuff. Like I have the specs of my pre-built on an email on my phone. Like people ask me, I'm like, let me pull up the email because I don't know. It's strictly for streaming.
See, and that's one of those things where I'm not what do they call it? They say I'm a jack of all trades. I know half of everything, but don't know full of anything. There's a lot of little things. I like to go in head first when I learn things. So like I knew absolutely nothing about PCs and stuff, other aside from how to turn them on. I think so this will kind of date it a little bit. I mean, I'm not that old, but it'll date a little bit. The last PC game I played before the middle of last year was Oregon Trail in school.
I remember when that game was released.
That was the last PC game I ever played until last
So I played that, and then there was another game called RuneScape.
I remember hearing about it, but never got to play it.
These were games back that came out like when I was in middle school. I think Oregon Trail came out maybe when I was in elementary school. But it was somewhere towards the end of elementary school, in middle school, that game came out, and we all, I mean, anytime we got computer time, Oregon Trail was like what we played.
Yeah, my computer class had Oregon Trail and Flight Simulator, and we had one of the actual joysticks for the planes with all the buttons and stuff on it. It was supposed to be similar to something in one of the planes. I forget which one it was, but I mean, this was also 15 years ago, something like that. I forget how old you are in junior high. I don't remember my age.
Yeah, 15 years ago, my wife and I started dating, and I was legally able to drink 15 years ago. I mean, everyone's like, yeah, 15 years ago when I was in like school, I was like, fuck.
Right? Well, I mean, yeah, because 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I'd still be in high school, but oh God.
I'm going on almost 20 years.
Oh my God. Yeah. Fuck.
Next year will be 20 years out of high school.
Couldn't imagine. Now, as far as that, you gonna do like a high school reunion? Did you go to one school long enough? Because I didn't. I was never.
So I did. I pretty much went to like the same school throughout my whole life, from elementary school through high school, minus like a couple of years that I was in juvie. Pretty much grew up with the same kids. You know, I remember all these people from when they were diapers. in preschool and all the way through high school. I personally have never been to any of the reunions. I don't really talk to a lot of the people that I went to high school with. Like we follow each other. Some of us follow each other on social media, but that's like the extent of my keeping in touch with people from high school, minus like my cousins, because we all went to the same high school. But yeah, I don't really talk to a lot of people from high school. Not that I don't really care too much. It's like we live different lives and I left. Like I moved into town, kind of got away from everybody, did my own thing, joined the military, left for a few years. There's still some people that I went to high school with that I talk to on occasion on social media that are ex-military. So we have a little bit of a bond there. But that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, I last week counted was like 22 or 23 schools I went to as a kid, and we weren't military. I wasn't military.
Damn, that's a lot of bouncing from schools to school.
Yeah, 22 or 23 schools and like 16 or 17 homes up until I was like 18 years old, something like that. No, I think it was more home. It was about 20 schools, and I think it was like 26 homes. But yeah, so I never really, and even at that though, the high school that I ended at was we all kind of went our own ways. It was the small town that I'm from in California. The town was just kind of going to crap, and everybody that was in my age bracket just kind of was like, screw this. The only people I know that stayed there pretty much are the farmers and stuff. I had some friends that had some dairies that were there, and they stayed to take over their parents' ranches. Aside from that,
I got you.
and I'm talking 500 to 1,000 acre ranches. The only thing we're staying for, and now everybody else has moved on to greener pastures. I've got a few still down there, but it gets a little stagnant down there. But it's funny, the changes. I don't think I've really ran into. It's funny, you see TV shows and movies, and everybody talks about going to the high school reunions and everything. I don't think I've actually ever met or known anybody that has gone to one.
Yeah, just not my thing. Nothing I really want to do. So,
It'd be show up to go see like one person.
Yeah, pretty much like, oh, hey, you. And then, okay, I'm leaving now.
Yeah. Nothing enjoyable out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Essence comment got me a second ago. 15 years ago, I was being conceived.
I saw that. I'm like, Jesus. Which is like, he's 15. My oldest son is 11. So there's not a big age difference between him and my oldest kid, which makes me feel kind of old.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, if life would have worked out, depending on how things would have went, I would have one about 10 years old right now. But
so real quick, is stream, are you guys getting, so I'm not sure if you guys are getting an echo because I'm playing his channel through my TV speakers because my headset's ghetto and doesn't work super well. So is the stream getting an echo at all? I don't think you guys are. But just let me know if you are.
They're saying no echo. I'll say there shouldn't be because usually if there is, I can hear it.
Okay.
I just didn't catch my mic not working earlier because I didn't see the little green bar raising on me.
All right. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, definitely. So no echo. Perfect. So so we see why you started. Now that's what got you into it. What keeps you going? What makes you continue to stream?
So a lot of it has to do with the communities and the people that I've surrounded myself with. I've had a lot of help getting to the point where I'm at with streaming. The Clean File and the cleaning crew were a big part of helping me reach affiliate. The Freedom Front with Vanguard Shooter. And then like everybody that I've met throughout the journey who comes into the stream, who's a part of the Discords that I'm a part of, coming in there and just, being supportive is a big reason that I keep going. You can't do this. You can stream without a community. You can, if you just want to hit that go live button, play games and, see if a random person comes in, that's cool. But in order to grow, And in order to continue to keep doing this, you got to surround yourself with good people. And that's a big reason why I keep going. Like, I've been having fun with it. It's something fun. You know, it's an investment. I mean, I hate to say it, streaming, if you want to take it serious, it is an investment. But it's everyone that I've met. Everyone has their individual story, and I love being able to like talk to people. And like my streams have pretty much become just chatting streams. I mean, realistically, I don't do that much gameplay on my streams anymore. It's just kind of the way it works. Like, I didn't plan on doing it. Like, I just like one day I was like, all right, we're going to just chat for a little bit. And the next thing I know, the stream was coming to an end. And then same with the next one. And then the next one with a little bit of gameplay in there. And I love that part of it. I love the just chatting and talking to people, telling stories, hearing other people's stories. And that, I mean, that's really what keeps me going, is the community, the people. And also, like I said, the same reason why I started it is the reason I continue it. It gives me something to focus on. I mean, I do spend a lot of people in here know, who've seen me around. I spend a lot of time either streaming in Discords, in other people's streams, working on my stream, trying to figure stuff out. Like, how can I improve it? What's going to be the next step? And that focus is a big thing for me, because without that focus, I'd be trying to find the next thing. Like, all right, I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about this, so I need to find what's going to be the next thing to keep me going. And a lot of it has to do with the community, and they help me keep that focus of, all right, this is something that I can do, something I enjoy. These people seem to like what I'm putting out. And then how can I reach the next person?
Yeah, definitely. That's I could feel that 100%. Let me double check, see what's going on here. The stream's wanting to load on one thing that I have it up. I want to make sure everything's good to go on that. Everything's still running smooth for you guys in chat? It might just be my stupid tablet that I use. Let's see. Running great. Okay. Yeah, it's just this stupid tablet that I've got. That's funny. I've got this LG tablet that I use to kind of keep an eye on things.
Oh, yeah.
Just to make sure everything's running properly. And it does what it wants as it wants to. But the communities do make a big difference, man. They help keep things flowing. Especially when you get in and you meet the right people. Which is the whole point of like the Difo. And then, like you mentioned, talking to people. That's exactly why I do this. I like talking to people. I like hearing everybody's different aspect on life. I like hearing why people, obviously, why they do what they do and what keeps them going. But that comment of the keeping you on focused on it and not moving on to the next thing. I don't think I've felt a comment from somebody so much. I've got really, really bad ADHD that even most of the time my meds don't really do a whole lot for it. But so this is one of those things that kind of definitely keeps the focus going, which is nice. Keeps everything on track of where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a big thing. And I know a lot of people with like, because I've been diagnosed. Thank you. I've been diagnosed like back in the day. This is back when I was in trouble. And this was in the 90s. So this is back when everyone was getting diagnosed with everything back in the day, and they were just throwing pills at you. ADD, ADHD, bipolar. I mean, the list goes on and on with the things they were throwing at me back in the day. And focus has always been a big thing for me. And planning for me, which I hate, like it kind of went to my youngest kid. Planning has always been like a big thing for me. Like I always like to know schedules. That's why the military was so good. I always like to know schedules. I like to have a schedule. All right, we're doing this, this, and this on this day. I've kind of gotten a little bit away from that with like when I was younger, I was like, hey, I want to know what we're having for dinner all week.
See, that's where I differ. And I want to in the moment. I'm just whatever's going on. As the things flow. There's no schedule with me. I schedule the podcast. That's about the only schedule I've got going on right now. That's the only thing I can keep scheduled and organized.
Yeah, and streaming for me has kind of been like that focus, and then like I can plan on it. Like, yeah, I've changed my schedule a few times, just life, and then the people that I've surrounded myself with, and the people I interact with on who are also streamers, who I want to help them grow and get to a further spot.
One
You
second, I'll let
know,
it catch up real quick.
it's a lot of just where, yeah, you kind of froze on my end.
Yeah, the Discord's.
There you are. I think you're live again.
Yeah, that's funny. I stopped talking for a
But
minute. I was waiting for yours to catch up.
the part where I'm at now is like, if I make a plan like to go hang out with someone and that falls through, I'm like, oh man, you mean I don't have to leave my house? Shucks, that sucks. That's kind of like my in the moment kind of thing now. I'm like, yes, I don't have to go anywhere. I love this.
Dude, this last year with the whole COVID thing going on, that's I've never been such a hermit in my life. I've never loved to stay home. I was always a on the go kind of guy, constantly just always got to be doing something. I got the really bad inattentive part of it where I just it's constant things. I always have to have something appeasing me, or not appeasing me, but something to keep my brain doing something constantly. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a whole lot of the hyperactive part of it as far as like the body energy, but the mind all over the place I got from it. And that's like I've been talking with the doctor and stuff, because like with Friday going in and finding out that my old heart's not doing what it's overactive right now. They're trying to change some meds up and stuff on me to make it work a little bit better, because I was telling her, I was like, they're not really working anyways. I mean, they're causing my heart to go crazy and overwork, and I don't want to die young. I got a lot of life to live, and they don't really. That's what she's trying to figure out why. Because I mean, my brain, it's so bad. Like the focus, there's no focus there. I can't, and even on meds to take care of it, nothing. I'm like, let's do something. But I'm just like,
Yeah, they need to get that shit figured out.
yeah, it's definitely.
The most hipster comment you'll ever hear me make. I was practicing social distancing before it was cool.
See,
I mean, I'm very much a homebody. I mean, that's what I prefer to be at home. I don't like going out. I don't like going to people's houses and stuff. I like being in my cocoon of me and where I know I'm safe.
See, and that's how my wife is to a point, but I'm an extreme extrovert and I just want to be out doing something constantly. But with all this that's gone on and all the different views of everybody and where I'm currently at, it's a very big split 50-50 on views, whether you're going to run into somebody that's got this way or somebody that's got this way. And almost every time you go out, it's a confrontation with somebody. And I may seem a little nicer on here, but there's times like my old raging on COD, I'll rage on somebody in person. Unfortunately, with the ADD, I didn't get the depression side of it, which I guess is a good thing. I got the anger side of it. So they could, yeah, it snaps.
Yeah, I got both. I got the whole kit and caboodle, except for like the hyperactive part. So when I was younger, yes, I was a lot more hyperactive. But as I got older, it's definitely more of the squirrel, and then the depression and the anger, which the anger stems from 2.5 years old. But that's either later on in the podcast or a whole new segment of another thing.
Right. Life will. That's why I don't get too far into life and way things went for me, because I could do like 5 or 6 podcasts on that and still not touch on a quarter of it. There's I feel bad. I don't understand the depression thing. I know a lot of people that have had to fight it. I don't understand it for the fact of what do they call it, the empathy, because I don't understand it, because I've never had to go through it. But I've always had severe anger issues from it. But I do feel bad for the people that have to go through it, because obviously anything that causes you to change the way you feel about life is not a good thing. But to get back on track, so then we can get a little sidetracked afterwards.
Hey, it keeps it lively. Come on now.
Yeah, right. Right. We'll keep the schedule. Keep the schedule. No, I don't know. I don't like doing too much of a PowerPoint presentation style. There's a lot of people out there that run podcasts where they want to keep everything in a flow of it needs to be like this all the time. I don't like that, because if you keep it too much like that and you keep it too focused on that flow, you don't get to learn the things that like randomly get popped up, the random conversations, the things that you get to learn. So that's why I like to let things just kind of go. But my third question, which is another one I like. So you got into it for the personal reasons and stuff, and obviously the community's done great things, and you continue to do it because of the community. But in your everyday life, for the everyday American, what has streaming changed anything about your everyday life aside from your time from when you stream?
So anyone who knows me or has met me in real life knows I am, and my wife will testament to this. I'm sure she's going to chime in on this portion of it. But I am a very quiet, sit back, I don't talk a lot person. In my normal everyday life, that's how I am. I've VFW events I've been to, people I've been around. I just kind of sit back and I watch. I don't talk a lot. I don't like a lot of people. I have a hoodie that says I hate most people. I just haven't met the rest yet. Streaming has completely changed that. So who you guys see on stream now, that is a part of me, because obviously I can't fake that. Like I can't fake bringing that kind of personality out on a day-to-day basis, on a stream-to-stream basis. Like you can't do that. Streaming has brought that side out more in the everyday life, and I think it's definitely improved things at home too. Like I know my wife, she's like, she'll hop in the stream sometimes and she's like, who are you? she'll be in there like, this is not my husband, okay? And it's like, well, this is your husband. This is just a whole nother side of your husband that you haven't seen in like 15 years. He's been buried. He needed Twitch. He needed streaming to come out and say, what's up, world? Here I am. I mean, I've never been one to be afraid to voice my opinion on things. You got to be a little bit more careful these days.
Yeah, that's gotten me in a lot
but
of
streaming has brought out a whole nother side of me. Like, so you guys know the Captain Dandy and Big Kilo Gaming. You guys have seen them around the Twitch world. In streaming, I met them in Clean's stream and found out we lived in the same town. And these guys have known each other for like 14 years. And they're like, hey, let's meet up. So it's like, cool, we met up. And I told them like, yo, I'm like normally pretty quiet. They're like, well, it's understandable. We've been knowing each other for 14 years. And then they see me on stream and they know who I am on stream. And then I go help Dandy set his stuff up. I'm like, yeah, you did see that. I told you, like, this is how I am, right? Like I'm normally, I sit back quiet and I don't talk a lot. But I am enjoying the side that streaming has helped bring out. Like I like it. It's a little bit more fun. It's not just so much just like I'm going to sit here and be angry all the time and give the world the middle finger and not interact with people. It's brought out a side of me that was there a long time ago when I was younger, like extremely younger. And that as I went through life, that side kind of got buried. And so it's kind of bringing that side back out. And I enjoy that side's coming back out. And I think it's helped. I mean, I think it's helped my relationship with my kids and my wife. Like my kids, they're like, you're so much happier on days that you're streaming. I'm like, well, shit. Maybe I need to work on being happy on every day.
Yeah, that's one thing I do love about the whole streaming thing. And I changed things before I started streaming. realized I'm not sure how yours was growing up, but I grew up with a dad that men were men, women were women. Men did not talk about
Yep.
feelings. If you talked about feelings, you were a sissy boy. And if I talked about feelings, I got my ass whooped. So for the longest time, and being the talkative person I am, that I want to talk, and I don't now, like, not necessarily feelings, but talking about life and stuff. I've come more open with it. I mean, my wife and I have been together for 10 years, and this is the first year that I've really opened up to her and talked, or last year was the first year that I ever really opened up and talked to her about a lot of things that went on in my childhood, how things went, and it was more of a, it really all started when I almost lost her. Uh, that, God, that changed a lot for me. Knowing that, because we got nobody around here really. I got a little bit of family that I'm kind of close to, but not really that close to. And it was just me and her. The only person I tried to call didn't answer the phone. Her brother that didn't answer the phone at the time of the morning when I was trying to let him know what was going on. And I'm like, we have nobody. There's nobody here. I've got a cousin that would have answered his phone in a heartbeat for me, my modern day Loki, but he's down in California. Aside from that, it's that situation where I'm like, wow, we got nobody. If I lose her right now, if I would have lost her right there, I wouldn't be doing this right now because the bad side would have come out, and I would probably be in prison right now. But we're not going to get on that subject. But this last year is when I finally started opening up about things, and I realized it doesn't matter what somebody told you look like because of what you say. It does not matter. And I think that's one thing that made a big difference for me starting to open up a lot. Because I used to be really bad recluse, but I was very open. Everybody wanted to tell me their life. I was the type of person that I can go into, my wife hates it because we'll go into a grocery store and I'll walk by a piece of freaking lettuce. And this dude that's standing next to it that picked up a piece of lettuce next to the one I'm grabbing now wants to tell me about everything that happened from his childhood on. And this dude's like 50 years old. And I usually just sit there, just laughing. I'm like, oh, so he's talking to me. I'm talking. But our 10-minute grocery store stop turned into an hour long conversation. My wife's sitting outside after she's already bought everything and waiting in the car. And I was always the
Are,
one.
are, are those the best? Just people randomly come, hey, so, I know you're buying the same bag of chips that I am, but hey, let's talk about my terrible life and, what I did yesterday and what's going on in the world today. Yeah, those conversations are interesting.
They always crack me up too. I mean, and that's one thing that's never really bothered me with that too, though. And like I said, like the why I do this is like I just like to hear the differences of way people went through things. And I think a lot of it, because we can always, everybody wants to stem everything back to, because like when you talk to therapists, they want to put it back to everything else. And I mean, I guess we could stem it back to, because even growing up as a child, I didn't have anybody um, going through things I went through. And I'm like, well, I guess maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm always looking for somebody that has a similarity. But I also like to talk to people that have problems and don't realize that there is other people out there with similarities. No matter what, with the billions or trillions of people that are on this planet, you're always going to run into somebody that has somewhat of a similar situation.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our stories. We all have our experiences that we've gone in through life. A lot of us, we have different stories, but our stories are similar in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great thing about that I've found about streaming is yes, we all have a different story, but since our stories are so similar, we all have a place to go and just kind of like hang out with people. Because you're not going to go into people's streams that I mean, you're going to go into certain people's streams because they're entertaining. But the more you're in there and the more you get to know the streamer and the community of the streamer, and you find out like, hey, these people here, they're similar to me in one way or another. That's what keeps you going back. That's what keeps you engaged in the chat and wanting to be like, hey, I can't wait to go check this next stream because this dude is, he's entertaining. This guy or girl is entertaining. They're fun to watch. They're either great at a game, but their community and who they are as a person is the real reason I personally want to go back into people's streams.
Yeah, people are usually, if somebody's in a stream, you're either there to get away and not have to think about something you don't want to think about, or you're there because you do want to think about something and you do want to see what's going on. And that's why, I mean, some people come in to watch the gameplays. I mean, there's a few streamers out there that I watch just because of their gameplay, because it kind of helps me. But there's a few other ones that I just like to hop in and bullshit with, or there's a few too that just them seeing that extra view makes a big difference. So I'll tab it up for that. But yeah, there's a lot of people that you can relate with, and just talking to you, they come across as good people, or you just like something about them, which is definitely what keeps me coming back to quite a few of them. There's a few guys what's funny is there's a couple of them that I just off of a couple small streams, or like a 30-minute stream, I started watching them. Like there's a guy, Country Viking. I watched, I think, like 15 minutes of his stream one day, and I still pop in every once in a while just because I love his personality. He's an awesome freaking guy. I believe he's a school teacher, and he streams, but he's just this redneck Viking attitude kind of guy, and he's just a good dude and fun to watch and stuff. So anytime I get time to pop in there and try and chat it up a little bit, which what's funny is actually he's got pretty soon I'm gonna be starting where that Captain America sign is. I'm actually gonna build something roughly the same size, maybe a little bit bigger. It's just gonna have everybody's stickers on it, everybody's logos, and I'll have a few extra here and there. But like his was one of the first ones I got. And then as things come through and as I can get more, I'm going to be just I just want to, every streamer that I've touched bases with, anybody that I interview on here and stuff that has a different one, I just want to have everybody's on there. And eventually, obviously, I'll have to move on to more. And then maybe one day we can have it all along there and just have the different ones. But I always thought that'd be kind of cool just to have a different logo from each person.
That'd be a cool thing.
Yeah, somebody that's made a different impact in different ways, and just fun little things, something that makes it a little more interactive.
Yeah, I've never been one, like when I started watching streamers and stuff, I never started watching a streamer for the gameplay. Like there are people I could go watch who are just, I don't know what, they're cracked at Fortnite, my guy, or whatever the hell that thing is. Like they're good, they're super good at the game. And I follow a lot of people like that, but I don't go into streams for the gameplay. That's just not who I am. Mm-hmm. I want to go in there for the person. I want to go in there for what they're bringing to stream as a entertainment and personal situation. I want to get to know their community. And then once I get in there, if I'm liking what I'm seeing and I feel like I connected in some way, that's what keeps me coming back, is like, okay, these are awesome people. And that's why I can hop in and I can hop into people's streams and be like, I'll at the streamer because I like the streamer, and then the whole community, and the community's awesome. And that's a big thing for me, is the community around the person and the person themselves, who they are as a person. I prefer that. I mean, everyone's going to watch streamers for their own reasons, but that's always been my thing.
I got to admit, now that where things are at, and as busy as I am with all of this, I don't really pay attention to people's the actual streams anymore. My friend, he's married and he's cracked. Just chatting, my guy. That's hilarious. When I pop into streams anymore, I don't really watch the gameplay either. I mean, I have a few. So when I first started all this, I used to watch like TP. His was one of the ones I used to watch. His blunt, slightly grumpy attitude. I don't know why I liked watching that, but his gameplay, because I remember on Blackout, I wanted to. I was trying to figure out why I was so trash at it, because on Blackout I would get like a 1 to 2 kill max. It's horrible. I was like, why is this? Why am I so bad at this game? So I started watching him, but it was also my first battle royale, my first kind of game like that. Was never really into it, and that kind of stuff picked up my gameplay a lot, because I was also not really playing with people that were all that good at the game. So when you don't play with people that are that good, it's hard to learn a game to get good at it. But yeah, now that's true, man. Honestly, I can't tell you the last time I actually hopped into somebody's stream and just watched for the game. If I want to watch gameplay and learn about a game, I'll hop on YouTube now. Like I think I hopped on yesterday to learn a little bit, or to just kind of see some gameplay of Ark, because I'm debating on getting it.
Oh, dude. Okay. All right, well, let's talk some Ark here, okay? I know Speed Eraser and Big Kilo Gaming and Dandy aren't in here, and none of the other people who like watching me, but when you have no idea, like I didn't watch any YouTube videos. I've seen a little bit of gameplay from Vanguard, but that was actually like attacking people and stuff, not the beginning. So I just hopped into it. I was like, all right. They're like, hey, we should play this game. I'm like, okay. I'm such a pushover. They said download the game, and I said okay. And then it's like, Ark, what the fuck is this shit? The first two times I played it, I spent hours, and I don't exaggerate this at all. I spent hours dying in that game, just trying to get to the base so I didn't have to respawn in a random spot. It is by far the most frustrating game I think I've ever played. Just like, I'm going to give it a shot. And then hours of dying, 2 days worth of other people's streams just dying. And now people just want to see me play because of the fact of the EDA rage in that game. They just want to see it.
That's awesome.
Like, I don't want to stream that game. Like in the beginning, I don't want to stream it because it's a lot of like building, and I just don't think that makes for an entertaining stream. But I guess the entertaining part is watch me venture out into the woods
and die
and hear my reaction. I guess that's what they love. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's the rage. Like Essen said earlier, he watches my stream to watch me rage on COD. That stupid game. Oh.
Yes, Muggles, EDA flashbacks. I swear I have PTSD from Ark already. Just add that to the list of PTSD I have, situations I have. Thanks, Ark.
See, and I've watched gameplay on it on YouTube, but I'm talking, we've got like a minute full of gameplay I've watched. I haven't seen the beginning, so I don't really know what that's like yet. And a couple comments from a few different people about the same thing, just like you just said, is kind of deterring me a little bit.
I mean, the cool part is, you get to tame dinosaurs. I mean, that was cool. So I tamed a dinosaur. I tamed a pteranodon. I'm supposed to be able to fly. I had it as a pet. And then me personally, I have a pet turtle. I love turtles. But in order to build things like saddles and other things, you have to kill certain animals because they give you those components that you need. So I'm like, hey, what else do I need for a saddle? I need this thing. How do I get it? You got to kill the turtles. I'm like, I don't want to kill a damn turtle. Okay. You know how upsetting this is to me? I understand it's a video game, but I get like pretty serious about having to hurt a damn turtle. Because my first pet, my personal first pet was a turtle when I was a kid. I had 2 pet turtles when I was a kid. I loved them. And then I got one. And then I'm like, oh no, I got to take my spear, and I'm apologizing while I'm doing it. I'm sorry, turtle. I don't want to kill you. I don't want to do this, but I need your stuff so I can make a saddle for my pteranodon. And then the next time, and then that same game when I'm doing this, I'm playing with Kilo and Speed. They let a raptor kill my pteranodon. So I did all of that for nothing. I was upset for nothing. And they let a raptor kill my turtle or my pteranodon. I was very upset. I did all this work. I broke my own heart for nothing.
Perhaps. Oof. Still can't believe you killed turtles. Oh, look at the wife here for you.
She knows how I feel about it. Like, so there was everyone. I don't know if you guys have seen or ever watched any of the show Orange is the New Black on Netflix.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
So there was a scene where they picked up a turtle and threw it into the water. And this is a TV show. And I'm just cussing out the TV show. Like, what in the hell are you doing?
Turtle.
This is horrible. Why are you throwing the turtle in? I was very upset about this.
Oh man, yeah, I can kind of feel you on that one. I'll pull up into a video game and I'll slaughter people. Doesn't bother me, but like you put a dog in there and you gotta tell me I gotta kill the dog to survive. I'm like, yeah, let my guy die.
Right?
I'm like,
pretty much.
It's a video game, but let my guy die. And then it cracks me up playing those kind of games because I get the same way to a point. I mean, turtles I probably wouldn't worry as much about because I know how much they could help me, especially with their shells in there.
Yeah, but, I know.
I mean, they are cool though. They're kind of defenseless animals. I mean, or whatever. They're reptilians, aren't they? They're kind of
they're reptiles. So they literally can't do what can they do? Go in their shell. Like that's it.
That's where my soft side kind of comes out, and I'm like, how do you sit here and kill something that can't defend itself? But I'm also
But
fine with
I needed those parts for the saddle. So I still need a little bit more because we got another Pteranodon. So I'm gonna be very upset when I have to do it again.
See, now I'm also the same type of person that in real life, people that are doing that on a regular basis, I'm fine with killing the people that do that.
Yeah, yes, those that's a topic for a whole another thing.
That's a topic for a different type of podcast.
Yeah.
That's not the type of things we get into on subjects here. But back to our questionnaire pamphlet. So, with all the different people, the different communities and stuff you're in, because we've got a few different communities that I'm in. I think last I counted 28 or 29 now. But the ones I'm most active in, majority of them are based around. Actually, all of them are pretty much based around the streamer. And there's a lot of good people in it. And then we've got the Difo, that's just a community there just to support people and be there to help others as needed. So we see a lot of different types of people between all the different communities. For new people that are coming into streaming, that are wanting to get into it, that are fully dedicated, that are wanting to truly make something of themselves, what advice could you offer to an up and coming streamer?
So the first thing I would say is just hit that go live button. Just hit the go live. Just hit the start broadcasting if you're doing it off a console and you don't have all the other stuff. If it's something you want to do, just start doing it. You know, you don't have to. You can start off streaming without a webcam. Now that leads into point number 2. Get yourself a cheap webcam to start with. Even if it's a $20 one off Amazon, or, you know, go to your local pawn shop. I'm sure one of them have them, or, you know, Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever. But hit the go live button and just do it. I mean, the worst part is the first stream, the nerves of the first stream. Like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to hit that go live button. I know I'm going to be nervous. It gets easier after that. Every stream after the first one gets a little bit easier. Like I said, get yourself a cheap webcam, because people come to a stream unless you have like a super great, awesome personality and you can talk about exactly what you're doing in a game, why you're doing it. Because actually, there's a guy, a kid who is in, he's been in my stream and he's been in some other ones. I went in his. He doesn't have a webcam. He's just starting off. But when I hopped in his stream, like I kind of sat back for a little bit before I said anything. And he's actually in there talking about what he's doing. He's playing Minecraft and he's talking about what he's doing, what he's playing, how he's doing it. I was like, all right, this is cool. So I started talking, and then a few other people were talking. And then he's like, hey, let me take you guys on a tour of this thing that I built. And so he took us around a building and what he built and the community he was a part of and all that stuff. So that's a big thing. Like be entertaining. And even if you don't have any viewers in there, or you have one viewer in there, or you have 2, or you have 100, if you're not being engaged in your chat, which will be another point later on, even if you have nobody, talk about what you're doing, because you never know who's watching. You never know if someone's just randomly popping into a stream. And if you're not talking at all, then they might not want to stay in there. But if you sit there and are talking about what you're doing and why you're doing it, that's a good practice. It's like in the beginning, hit the go live button. And if you don't have a camera, use that time to practice talking, because that's the big thing when it comes to streaming is the talking, not just the focusing on the gameplay. Don't like I have a list, but we can like break this up. I actually wrote a list of things.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. One thing though that I wanted to touch with that real to it too is I've been seeing a lot more people lately. One of the new biggest things is you'll see a lot of small streamers have been doing this. They're popping into the browse, picking a game they like to watch or play, and then they switch the viewers, which I do this just to find people to help. But like they'll do it where they'll switch viewer count from low to high Find somebody that's
Yep.
only got a few viewers so they can pop in and they'll watch for a few. If they like it, then they'll interact. And it gives them the opportunity to interact with somebody, um, and actually, or so it gives them the opportunity to actually interact with that person. Whereas, like, if you get into somebody that's got 40,000 views, it's your first time in there, you're most likely not going to get to actually talk back with that person. They're not going to make you, unless you say something that really catches their attention. So a lot of people lately have just been, I'm assuming they're probably just looking for communities and looking just for people to, in a way, make friends and stuff with. But yeah, a lot of people are looking for that. Just talk. Just don't be afraid to chat and explain what's going on, and yeah, make sure you're interacting with chat.
Yeah. And if you don't have anyone in there, you can use that time, because a big thing with um growing is, I'm not so good at it myself, but a big thing with growing is putting out content on other platforms. So using your streaming stuff as a way to put it out on like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, things like that. So you can use that time and you can practice it. Like I said, practicing, if you have no one in there and you're still talking and what you're doing, you can still use that time to make clips and content for those other platforms. So you'd be like, hey, all right, watch me do this. Watch me wipe this team. This is my movement. This is why I'm doing it. You know, hey, did you know that if you climb up on this thing and this thing, you can get through this window?
That is true, because just talking, yeah, like you said, for the content thing. So just talking, even though there is no streamers there, what you're talking can be used in your recording, so you don't have to go explain it again when you go to do it.
Exactly.
It's one thing I never thought about.
Another thing is, when you're starting off, don't spend a shit ton of money. Don't go buy the $2,000 PC, the hundred to $700 camera. You know, slowly upgrade. Don't don't go all in on everything, the lighting and all the stuff. Like, I started streaming on, I had a ghetto PC, like a $300 PC that I got from Walmart. I had the webcam and my desk, which I actually have a desk now thanks to the wife. I was streaming on a plastic work table that had wood glue on it. With my background used to be my garage door. Like, that was it. I didn't have a lot of lighting. I didn't have anything. And then as you build and as you grow, then increase, upgrade your stuff a little bit at a time, because you don't want to go spend all of this money. And I hope everyone is successful. Anyone who streams, I want them to be successful. I want them to hit whatever goal it is. If it's affiliate and stay there, cool. If they want to hit partner, cool. But you don't want to put yourself in a financial situation where you're spending all of this money and you're streaming for all of this time, and then it's not getting to where you wanted it to, and now you got to go and sell all your stuff because now you're discouraged that you weren't growing, and you're not going to get that money back. You're not going to get anywhere near what you spent back.
No, because when people are going to buy things used, they're looking to spend the bottom dollar on it. So they don't care what you spent on something. They're going to try and Jew you down, or you're just not going to get the offers on it. And that's very true too. Yeah, that's one thing that I had a bad problem with, because um, I never really cared about having things, and I never had a lot of things. So when I got into this, ooh, I mean, like you said, with a crappy PC, the first PC I streamed on I had $350 into this PC. 350. 200 of that was the RX 580 graphics card I had. The other 150 was used parts and pieced together off Facebook. And the only reason I went with that graphics card is because the one that was in it failed. And that was one of those things I I hesitate really bad on buying certain things used, um, for the fear of failure. Because I mean, like, you
Yes.
go to buy a graphics card, and I mean, you're spending, when half the price is still a $500. It's hard to justify, because even like that, I spent 220 bucks, I think it was, on that graphics card. And if I were to even buy that one used, it was 150 bucks everybody wanted for it. So, but if I get this thing, I go home and now it fails, I've got no warranty, I've got nowhere to take it back to. It's
Yep.
got the playtime on it. And then, yeah, there's certain things I don't mind winging. If you can get it cheap enough, yeah, it's whatever. But when you're spending,
And for console people, so anyone who's a console streamer, you can hook a webcam directly up to your Xbox.
I believe there's
There
actually a
are
Twitch app now too. That's
there's a Twitch
updated.
app, so you can stream from your Xbox or your PlayStation on Twitch. You can put a webcam in on your console, and there's actually a free program out there that you can use to have yourself have overlays if you're directly streaming from your console onto Twitch. So you don't even have to have OBS or Streamlabs or things like that. You don't have to use any of that. You can directly stream off your console with overlays and a webcam. You spend yourself a 20, $30 on a webcam, and bam, you're good to go.
Yeah, and then you can use your phone. You can pull up Twitch and use the stream manager. And like one thing I did in the beginning, so which I use it still for this crappy tablet, but I bought one of these. It's just a little stand. I think I paid like $6 for it on Amazon, and it's a phone holder. I mean, this one I had to bend a little bit, but it'll sit there and hold your phone. So as you're playing, you can just have your chat running. And this one allows you to put your cord through it, but you just have your chat and everything going right there. So you can still interact with everybody. It's out of the way. Because a lot of some people use the PlayStation one, because PlayStation allows a webcam too. But if you got to watch how you do your PlayStation one, because your video feed will come through on Twitch showing like the black bar on the side and everything. But if you do it like he's saying, like EDA's saying, you can have your full screen gameplay. Your webcam can still be on there, and then you can watch your chat and stuff like this. And you could straight from a console. You don't even need a computer.
Yeah, and I mean that's a good way. That's a good way to start if you're on a console and you don't want to have a dedicated streaming PC, or using a streaming laptop. Like when I was on Mixer, I used my laptop as a streaming. I had all the, I had the capture card and the core and the HDMI cords, and I ran it. So you can do it that way too. But if you just want to start right off your console, spend the $20-$30 on a webcam, spend the $7-8 on a cell phone stand or an iPad stand, or if you have a laptop, use that as your stream manager on the side, and just get going.
Yeah, exactly. Just get it out there, get started. One word of advice I will give though for anybody that's gonna do just straight from console, do some research and learn about DMZ, Delta Mary Xylophone. I forget, zebra. Learn about that in your router settings so you can actually send better signals and faster speeds to your Xbox so you won't struggle a little bit. It's really simple to do. Logging into your router, you can do it from your phone, and it'll help a lot with connectivity. And that's one thing. There's actually somebody in the Difo that I need to make that comment to later. Pretty easy to learn. You can also learn to do port forwarding and stuff like that. It just gives you a faster signal, so that way, because some of the consoles don't get the greatest signal and everything with it, because I use an Xbox One S and I was having tons of issues. But also,
that was your problem. You had the One S. You should have just spent the extra money on the other one.
I bought it like 2 years ago and then never played it. It sat and was a DVD player, and then I decided to start gaming and streaming. But yeah, there's little things you can quirk around and mess with on your internet to give it a better connection for you.
Yeah. Also, networking. Yes. Networking is a big thing in order to grow. Getting into people's streams, being a part of the community, and I say networking as in networking and not going into a stream and self-promoting. Don't do that. Don't go in there and be like, talk to them for a little bit and be like, yeah, I'm a streamer too, unless they ask. So if a streamer asks, do you stream? Then that's okay to say. It's okay to say, yeah, I do stream. And then if they want to continue the conversation, cool. But get in there, be a part of the community, get to know the people, join a Discord, be active in the Discord. Don't join a Discord and then as soon as you join the Discord the next day, without ever saying anything, hit the go and drop your link in the self promo. Like I'm a big, just don't do that. But networking is huge. That's what's helped me. Like I'm not so good at the I'm not so good at the content side of it. I'm not so good at making TikToks. I'm not great at that stuff. But for me personally, it's been the networking side. It's going into streams, talking with the communities, being a part of the Discord. That's how I've been able to grow. But that's an older mindset from before social media was a thing. Before Vine and TikToks and Instagram Reels and whatever the new thing is going to be. Before that was a thing, it was always networking. It's getting to know people on a personal basis. And that's how I grew up. That's how I always did, any sort of business that I was a part of in order to bring customers back. That's what I did.
Word of mouth.
And that's, I'm trying to get better at some of the other stuff. I have some ideas that are a little bit going to be on the side of gameplay, but some content that might drive traffic. If it does, cool. If not, I think it's something that I would still enjoy. But networking, that's just, it's a big thing. And schedules. I cannot stress how important a schedule is. Don't stream, like in the beginning, you're going to stream more likely when you're starting off and you're trying to reach affiliate. You're going to stream 7 days a week. I don't necessarily think you should do that unless you've been a part of a community that is going to come out in full force and make sure in that week you hit it. But if you're starting off, stream 2 or 3 days a week for no more than 3 hours. Watch your number. The only time I ever say watch your viewer number is in the beginning. After you hit affiliate, you don't need to watch the viewer number. You don't need to worry about that. But in the beginning, because you have to hit that 3.0 viewer average, it's important to watch that. Because I made the mistake when I started. I was like, I'm going to start doing it, whatever. This was before I planned on really doing anything. I was streaming almost every day for 8 or 9 hours. And then that kind of set me back when I was like, I really want to hit that next level. It took me that much longer to do it because I had all those that 1 viewer average, that 2 viewer average for all this time. And so now you got to try and play catch up. So in the beginning, set yourself, a schedule. And even once you hit affiliate, you don't necessarily have to worry as much about the numbers. But if you want to be successful, having a schedule and keeping to that schedule as best as you can is important to do. Because you got to think of streaming. Like if you want to be successful, I've talked to a lot of people about this and we're on the same mindset. Other people might think differently, but you got to think about streaming as a business because that's what it is. It is making a brand. You are the brand of your channel.
Yep, 100%.
And you have to create supply and demand. There is so much supply on Twitch. There is 9.4, last I looked, 9.45 million active streamers on Twitch. And you got to think also not only 9.45 active streamers on Twitch, but everybody on Twitch, whether you are a streamer or not, is a streamer account. There is no differentiation between streamer account and just supporter follower account, which I think that's something Twitch should look into, is having a differentiation of, are you going to be a streamer or are you just a follower, a supporter? Because not everybody who's on Twitch wants to stream.
There needs to be a way to differentiate that.
Yeah, there should be some way for them to differentiate that. I think that'd be better on their part as a business for numbers, because it's a free platform. You're not paying a monthly membership on Twitch to be on there. You're not paying that. It's free.
It'll also help the streamers too, though, because like we keep getting these comments and these people making these videos of oversaturation, talking about how Twitch is oversaturated. And I get a lot of people in the community too that bring this up and they're like, well, Twitch is oversaturated. And same thing I've said multiple times is there's people say that there's just too many there, but every single account, like you just said, on Twitch is a streaming account. You can set it up like Instagram or TikTok where you have a basic account or you have a business or you have a creator account. That simple right there would help drive a lot of motivation in people and streamers, knowing that not every single, but also you got to figure if they do that though, it's going to drop it down to like What did you say? 9.4 million?
9.45 million.
It would probably drop it. Honestly, it would probably drop it down to like 1 to 2 million active true streamers.
But that's still, I mean, you got to think.
Still
I mean,
a lot.
Does that really matter? You're not getting any more money as a business to have a streamer account because no one's paying a monthly membership.
No, as far as
it's the same way on it's the same way on TikTok though. Like,
well, as far as numbers on the chart, that makes them look a little different. But as far as money, it'll actually help their growth to have people understand that 90% of these people that are in that category of streamers aren't streamers. Or like my setup. I have my account, I have the Difo. So those two are actual stream accounts, but then I have my bot. I have Barbarian Bot, which is the bot for my chat, for my stream, that's technically a stream account that will never have a stream on it. Ever.
I just think personally on a business standpoint, like that'd be better for for Twitch. I don't work for Twitch, they're going to do what they want. But I think just for a differentiation purpose, I think that would be better. In my opinion, that's the way my mind works. But yes, schedules are important. I think one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give someone is just have fun. Like it's supposed to be fun. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where your numbers are high. You're going to have days where your numbers are low and you're like, oh, what am I doing? But sometimes it's just like that because not everybody, I stream in the mornings. So I stream, everyone knows I used to stream night times, but I stream the mornings. I think it's a little bit better for me. I understand people are working. I stream at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's anywhere from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the afternoon in the US, and then evening time for people on the other side of the world. The fact that I'm getting anybody in here is awesome. I'm just having fun. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have fun with this. And, whatever happens, happens. But have fun with streaming. Because if you're just sitting there and you're just kind of like this, and you got no enthusiasm, people aren't going to want to stay in there. They might pop in, they say hi, but if that's all they see, then they're not going to want to come back. And there's some streamers that I just want to kind of reach through the stream and be like, give me a little bit of energy, guy. Just a little bit. Show me something.
There's a couple times I've cut my stream short just because I know I'm not, I know that I'm in a mood to where I'm not going to be energetic enough. And no matter what happens, I'm not going to be, because either I'm tired or usually just because I'm tired, something's going on. And if you're like that, it's not a problem to cut a stream short and come back the next time. I mean, being energetic and being, you don't have to be wired, but just making conversation, talking, and just don't sit there sad and woe is me, pity life.
Yeah. And on his point, if you're having you have a scheduled stream, and I am preaching, have a schedule, stick to it. But if you're having a bad day and you don't necessarily feel like you're going to bring the best product to the table, then just don't stream. Take the day. Like, as much as like I said, this is a business and you're trying to represent a brand, you want to represent your brand in the best way possible when you're doing it. And one of the best ways you can do that, if you're having a bad day or you're having an off day, or if you're just exhausted from streaming, from creating content, from work, from life, take the day. Just be like, hey, community, I'm sorry. I'm having a day. I'm exhausted. I got to take the day off. Or you don't even have to say anything. I mean, if you're part of a Discord, it's always good to say, there's no stream today because, I got some things going on. I'm a little exhausted. I need to take a break. But if you're not, just don't hit the button. And the next stream, if you're feeling better that day, just be like, hey, here I am. Sorry, Chad, I wasn't able to stream on that day. I was having a day. I needed to hit that reset button. Because if you want to grow, it's like another job. So I know a lot of other people, they work full time. Bear is an example of that. He works full time. A lot of the communities I'm a part of, they work full time. I'm lucky enough to where I'm retired. I'm a stay-at-home dad. But life, even with me, life gets in, life is life sometimes. And I've done it. I've been like, you know what? I can't stream today. I got to take the day off. I'm not in the right mindset. And it's okay. It is okay to do that.
Well, and if you force if you're not in the right mindset and you force those streams, you're gonna ruin it for yourself. If you do too many streams to where you're just not in the mood and don't have the right mindset to be yourself, it's gonna cause, because you're gonna think about those too, because you're gonna stop and you're gonna think about those streams you've done that weren't what you wanted them to be, and that's gonna weigh on your mind more than those excited ones where you're happy yourself and whatever. It's the same thing, like all the different things people make. I've seen a lot of things on like Facebook and stuff where like a teacher will write down 10 different questions and put the first answer wrong, but all the rest of them right, and everybody laughs at her for the first one that's wrong, but nobody praises her for all the other 9 that are done right. And we do that to ourselves too. Aside from what humankind does to other people, we do it to ourselves, and you're gonna remember that. So just don't add unnecessary stress to yourself.
Yeah, because we're our own worst critics. I know I am. I am my own worst critic in everything that I do, anywhere from streaming to doing something around the house to, how I interacted with my kids, and my wife. I'm my own worst critic.
Yeah, I'm bad to myself about that. I know I was trying to read the same thing. So it depends on what your stream's looking like. Don't, like you said before though, once you hit affiliate, don't worry about those views. It doesn't matter. Stream from 9 to 10 and you feel good, keep it going. But yeah, it really just depends. Don't worry about views. After you hit affiliate, views don't matter. Hopefully
the only time views matter after you hit affiliate is if you're trying to go for partner, but that's going to take a lot of time because you have to hit 75 average viewers for 30 days.
And how many followers? It's like 10,000 followers or something.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't think it's 10,000 followers. I actually think it's way less than that. But you have to have an average of 75 people. So you got to think. So if you have an average of 12 viewers in your stream, you are in the top 1% of Twitch. 12 viewers. You got to think 9.4 million active streamers. If you have an average of 12, you are the top 1% of Twitch.
Really? I didn't actually know that. I sit at 11, so I didn't realize I was up there.
Yeah, so you're sitting there. Now you got to think, you can go through. So if you do this, or we kind of touched on it earlier about going and browsing and looking at channels that have, numbers from low to high. Think about, you got all these big names, right? I'll use Tim the Tap Man. I've seen his streams where he has anywhere from 14.7 thousand to 40 some odd thousand. That's like the top 0.1% of Twitch. Not that many people are realistically going to hit that level as compared to numbers wise of how many people are on there. And I was watching something with Bad Bear last night. I think it was a TikTok that he posted. Out of 100 people in the next 2 years, 98% of them are not going to be doing this in 2 years. 98% out of 100. So you got to think, out of 100 people, 1, maybe 2 of you is still going to be doing this. It's not saying that you're not going to hit that partner level. I mean, affiliate may be the highest any of us go. I mean, that's probably realistically the highest I'm ever going to hit. I mean, and I'm fine with that. But have fun and don't get discouraged if, you're having a little bit lower views. Just think of it as it is a numbers game. It is a supply and demand game. How the supply is 9.4 million active streamers on Twitch, because every account is a streamer account. So I use that as a term. But go in there and see how many people. I do this all the time. I do this like every night. I go into a game that I like watching and I change it from low and think about how many people are streaming to nobody. So if you have 3-4 people, give them the best product that you can. because you're creating the demand for your product. Give them the best product that you can. And just know you're doing something right because you got those 3 or 4 people coming back. And then what can you do to make that product a little bit better?
You know,
Because I know people who've been streaming for years who are still grinding that that low number, and it's like, well, you got to maybe step back and think about
what needs to
what
change.
can I do to improve my product.
You know, one thing that's been weighing on me for a while now that I keep seeing, and it really bothers me, but there's nothing we can really do about it, is because you bring up partner. There's a few like videos and stuff out there that people have made, TikToks, YouTubes, talking basically about how you're not going to hit partner. You're not going to make it because you need the 75 views and how hard it is to get to it. And all these people that are new and upcoming streamers, they see that and they get down on it. But people need to realize the reason people make those videos is for content for themselves, and to, as bad as it sounds, it's to cause self-doubt in other people. Because those type of people that are willing to make that type of content, they don't want the extra
Competition.
I don't know why that word was not coming to my brain, but they
Words
don't,
are hard.
words hard here. They don't want to. They don't want that. They want to do what they can to avoid it. You're not going to run into a lot. As sad as it is to say that you're not going to run into a lot of communities that are going to be full force support. There's a lot of streamers out there that are always going to be number one. It's always going to be focused on number one. And I know a few personally that are connected with a few different things that I know that their goal is number one based. People see them differently and don't think that's how they are, but I know otherwise, and it is what it is. Let it stay that way. If people don't believe that they're like that, that's all that matters. But those videos that say that you're not going to get partner, or it's this hard, it's this and that, you just have to stop and try and see what's going on. Like he mentions Tim the Tap Man, like watch that, see what they're doing. No, you don't need his exact setup to do it, but kind of watch the things that they add to it, because things do change. And most people don't see that, is how much things do change as Twitch goes on. It's not the same style of platform streaming year after year.
No, the one thing I will say is, so I remember Mixer, I've seen Facebook Gaming, and I've seen YouTube. The one thing I will say is, while there is an oversaturation on Twitch, which there really is, the thing that I like about the Twitch community, especially the smaller streamer Twitch community, is it's more about uplifting and support for small streamers supporting small streamers. I've seen a lot of that. I've had it happen to me, and I hope everyone knows that I try and do the same for everybody else. It's been a great thing to see, because you go look at Facebook. Yes, you can make a little bit more money on Facebook.
That depends,
but how you get paid is differently. The new upcoming thing with YouTube gaming, and I think eventually, there's other companies that are going to get into it. But the thing that I love about Twitch, it's been about small streamers supporting small streamers, and I've seen it. I've had it happen. Like I said, I've had it happen to me. But don't fall into I'm going to look right at the camera on this one. Don't fall prey to the follow for follow small streamer thing that's going around. If you drop me a follow, I'll drop you a follow, and we'll grow together. Well, those are just empty follows. I mean, are you going to tune in to go watch that person's channel? I mean, that's it's support for support. That's what it should be. Support for support, not follow for follow. Like, are you going to support this person?
Why do you think Twitch only requires 50 followers for affiliate?
Isn't there a thing? Did it go away? I remember there being a thing where you could pay to get affiliate.
Yeah, but I believe you can still pay for it, because it also gets you, aside from just paying to get into affiliate, it helps you get the the DMCA song stuff too with it. I don't know how long that'll last because that's going to lose a lot of motivation for certain people because they're going to pay to get into this and then they're not going to get what they think they're going to get out of it. Because even if you're paying for it, you still got to have a certain amount of content. Still have to have a certain amount of attention as far as viewers for them to still want to promote you. So even if you're paying monthly and you're not getting the views, they're not going to promote you.
Yeah, and you gotta build a community. Like just paying for affiliate and being like, all right, cool, I'm an affiliate now. I paid for it. I'm gonna start making money on this thing. Well, no, you're not. And really, you shouldn't be streaming for the money. Like if you make, I always tell everybody, I mean, anyone who's been to my stream knows that I'm like, hey, save your money. You don't need to give me bits. You don't need to sub. You don't need to donate. Save it, especially in this time in the world right now with how it is. I understand money's important. And anytime anyone does anything like that, like it means a lot. But I'm also going to give, like, I'm going to give money away too. Like, big part of my stream is I raise money for the veterans of foreign wars and Gold Star families. So I don't want anyone to give me money, but if you do, I'm going to make sure it goes to a good cause. Something that's going to help other people. Like I'm okay financially to where I'm able to give back. Now you could also use that money to improve your setup. Like I said, when I said slowly upgrade, if someone donates you some money, you could use that to upgrade the next part of your stream to make it a little bit better, to help yourself grow a little bit more. One thing I love that Speed does, Speed Eraser, any donation, like a specific monetary donation, he takes his wife out on a date. So I donated him $20 just to take her out on a coffee date. I was like, dude, take her out. Because for those of us who have families, we can't do this without them, without their support. Like I would not be streaming if I didn't have the support from my wife to do it.
Oh, 100%.
If she was like, if she said no, I might be a little upset. There might be a conversation about why you're saying no. But without her support, I wouldn't do it. And I think she's learned to enjoy, and see what I'm doing and, know it's something I enjoy. But if it was taxing on the family, then I wouldn't be doing it.
But it also would be different because like her to just say no now would change things quite a bit. But in the beginning, I have a problem understanding why somebody would want to be with a person that doesn't support you to begin with. Because my wife is the absolute fucking amazing. She's amazing. She's the best. She is the single-handedly the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life, and she's amazingly supportive. But that's why I've also dedicated my entire life to her, and I don't care what happens. I will literally murder somebody for her. But it is what it is, but I've always been 100% supportive to her too. I mean, we live a little differently. I know a lot of people will have their different styles of life they want to live, how they want to be with their spouses and in their relationships. Some people like certain control, certain ways. My wife and I lived where we are equals, 100% equals, no matter how we do things. But if somebody doesn't support you in what you want to do, you need to think about why they don't want to support you. Is this person not supporting you because they're just not supportive? Or is it something you're doing that you're known for that's going to cause them to not want to support it? But if they're not supporting you, you really need to rethink your life choices. And same goes vice versa. If you're somebody that's into this and you have somebody that wants to do it, just support people. It makes a big difference on how they get through things.
And the key word he's saying is support.
Yeah.
I stress that a lot because I've seen it on so many social platforms these days. You see it on TikTok all the time. Drop your link in the comments. Okay, well, are you going to like actually support me, or is this just going to get me some empty? Are you going to come check out what I'm doing? Or are you just going to drop a ghost follow and call it a day?
See, and that's why I came to the conclusion and stuff of where I don't really care to have like the Difo community be like thousands of people, because I don't want there to be people in there that feel like they're left out and just feel like they don't have that attention that they need. or they want to get, or if they're going to pop in, they're not going to get it. Like right now, anybody that comes in and chats in the Difo, if you need somebody to talk to or anything, you're going to find somebody to talk to. And I'm fine with only having less than 100 people in there right now. Obviously, it's going to grow as time goes on, but just support one another, no matter how it is, and whether you know them personally or not. Just support them. Like, there's no reason to be negative.
I see a future for Bear and the Difo and being the next Joe Rogan.
We can all have hopes and dreams, right?
Hey, that's the thing.
I mean, I'd love for that. The things that he does, I don't know. I look at it differently, like with the way Joe Rogan does his stuff, because I listen to his podcast on a daily basis. I'm only a few behind right now, and the way I look at it is, if we can get to that point with the Difo, the amount of people we can help with it will make such a difference. And like I've told people before, and I hate kind of bringing it up because it makes it look kind of opposite, but I don't care. I've never been one that cares about the attention or the clout for myself. I've had to kind of come to terms with that, because in order to do what I want to do to help the people I want to help, I kind of have to be the known face and the known name. Because I was always that one. I'm like, I'll sit in the back burner and do what I need to do to help people. That's fine with me. And being a streamer, your face is right there. They like, oh, hey, that's that guy. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm very extroverted.
Sometimes I want to do that.
Right? I'm very extroverted, but I don't like being I don't need to be the center of attention, which is fine with me. But now, and when I watch like Joe Rogan, the things that he gets to do for people coming on there, and what they get to talk about, and how much they can change things down the road. People that have come on there that have had an initiative to do something and have wanted to do something big, or trying to help somebody with certain things, that are now. There was a guy I was listening to this guy. He's from Canada, and he was trying to save, I think it's a walrus. Was it a walrus or dolphin? What the hell was it? I don't know. It was some kind of porpoise, and he was trying to save it. Bad situation, screwed up. Dude couldn't get any attention for it, couldn't get any help for it. Comes on Joe Rogan, and now he's got hundreds of thousands of people following him, backing him, trying to help him get through this. Could you imagine if we could get the Difocast and stuff to the point to where we're that big, that where if somebody comes on, I don't care what they think about me, but if they go, oh, hey, this person was on the Difocast, let's go check that out. If we can get somebody 100 views just because they were on here and interviewed, that's what gives me the push and the drive to make this something.
Well, keep that drive and keep that mindset, man, and you'll get there.
Oh yeah, that drive won't be anywhere. That drive will continue, because there's too many. My biggest lookout on life is there is so many people out there that are extremely talented, extremely amazing, and very gifted people that are held back by something so simple and stupid as a third view, a fourth view, that could be keeping them from their full potential.
Yeah, because all it takes is that one, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. But one last question, as far as our questionnaire. This is one of my favorites too. I love asking people this one. What are your future goals as a streamer, aside from just being a face that talks to people on your regular stream?
One is, of course, to continue to support my fellow streamers. That's one thing I want to continue to do in the future in the best way that I can. Build my community and help uplift the communities that I'm a part of, the ones that I'm extremely active in. If I'm extremely active in your community, then obviously that means that I want to try and do my best to help you grow. A big thing for me, it shows up a bunch of times throughout my stream because it's on a timer, is I want to be able to use my platform to help veterans. I've been doing veteran advocacy since I was 6 years old. My late father, he was in the Marine Corps. He's been involved with the VFW ever since I can remember. And I've been a part of that in one way or another, whether it was handing out poppies and doing fundraisers, to directing traffic at 9 years old at parades.
Oh, we got.
You know, telling grown men, hey, no, you post commander myself and doing, you know, the things that we did in the Veterans of Foreign Wars. And so I want to be able to use my platform to help them in one way or another, whether it's through saving a portion of the, you know, the monthly payout for a donation at the end of the year. I'd love to do a charity stream at some point in 2021 for the Veterans of Foreign Wars and Gold Star families. So I've said VFW a lot. I know a lot of people in here don't know what that is. The Veterans of Foreign Wars is a fraternal organization of combat veterans. So think of it as, you can consider it like a club or whatever. But we are an organization of combat vets. So in order to qualify as a combat vet, you had to have been, there's certain criteria based on the time that you served and where you were at and how long you were there. And if you meet that criteria, then you qualify as a veteran of foreign war member. Now, the opposite side of that is the American Legion, which is open to any veteran, whether you've deployed or not. So you have the American Legion, which is for all vets, and then you have this side that is for combat vets.
Okay, that I didn't know.
And Gold Star families is the immediate family member of someone who paid the ultimate sacrifice and died in combat. And they are awarded they're the Gold Star family. And so that is why my logo, the new logo, is gold instead of red, white, and blue, which I have, you know, in my backdrop and it's on my overlays. But the gold in the logo is specifically a dedication to Gold Star families. That's why it's there. I've had some people ask me, why is there no red, white, and blue? Well, it's there for a reason. And so I plan on using my platform to give back to the men and women and the family members of those who have fought and served and protect, and those who have had to give the ultimate sacrifice to our country. And so any monetary that we get in the stream and through sales of merchandise is going to go directly to those organizations. And then eventually I would love to start a podcast of my own. It's going to be a completely different than what you normally see on stream. I actually really talk and get into some and give my opinions on certain things. That is one thing I would like to start here in the near future. If I can actually get my foot out of my ass and do it. I don't mean to cuss, but you know, that's what it is.
I think that's going to be something that's great for you. I can't wait to see you get that up and going too. I mean, I know that's going to go far. I'm excited for it. I've been waiting. I know a few guys. I know quite a few guys that'll be excited and ready to hear that'll want to be part of that, that'll want to listen to it. It's going to be a great thing. That's one thing I don't get. I'm very open-minded to anything. I'm not closed-minded. I'm not too opinionated. There's a few things I'm a little opinionated on. That's where like this style works better for me, is because I want to hear everybody and the things that they're doing. I'm not, when it comes to like political, I don't have a lot of opinions on it. I've got my few basics. When it comes to like the troops and stuff, and I'll be front with everything my side. And just because I have a view on something doesn't mean I can't talk to somebody else about it. I don't care what somebody else's views are. We can all sit here and laugh and talk about things. My thing, so like with the troops, I support our troops 100%. I support anybody that's our military. I support. I do not support the things we fight for. That, especially with upcoming things, I have a very big trouble with some of the things we fight for. Now, a lot of times we do fight for good things. Not a lot of times. Sometimes we fight for good things. But just because we're not fighting something that's necessarily good doesn't mean you can't support the people that are doing it to protect us. Those people willingly put their lives on the line, because no matter how or what we're doing, those people still put their lives on the line to make sure we have, I'm gonna cuss, as fucked up as it is right now, make sure we have what we have right now.
And the thing, a good thing that, I mean, I don't want to talk about certain sides and, you know, opinions on things. But a good place to look for right now is the way I've shared it on Facebook many times, but with how the world is going right now. Different races, different cultures, from all over the world. And I do say that I can say this about the U.S. military because I know I've served with people legitimately from Africa who wanted to become an American citizen, so they joined the United States military. Everyone has a different view. Everybody has a different view. Everyone has a different opinion. But they come together to do a job. They come together despite whether this person agrees with me on this or I completely disagree with this person on this. I have your back. And that's something that I think we need to get back to. And that's why I say at the end of every stream I do, I say it for a reason. Stay American is something we need to get back to.
And that's what we need to get the whole reason for America, for the United States, not America, because I mean, we've got North and South America, but for the United States is we are here to support all the different communities to come together and allow people to have their different views on life. And that's the joy of it. Dude, you can go to places in California, Texas, Florida, and you could have 40, 50 different types of foods. And I love it. I mean, I don't care where you're from or what you do. I mean, I love the fact that where we live, we allow all these different people from all these different places to come together. And the problem is we've gone down this path where people believe that if you're an American, you're this patriot anarchy. Yeah, or patriot anarchy. And that's anarchist. And that's not what it's about. And being an American is about being a supportive, true person. We all are from different descendants. Majority of my family, I've got family that came over a couple generations ago. I don't have, I mean, I've got family on my dad's side it's from another country. I mean, none of us are 100%. I mean, or I guess we got some of the people that are like the Native American that have born and raised here, but there's hardly any of us that are that have strictly from here within no later than the last 200 years. And I mean,
and my dad immigrated from Scotland.
Exactly.
He lived in Scotland, born and raised in Scotland, immigrated over here and served his country. He became an American citizen through joining the military, fought in Vietnam, served his country. And just because he wanted to be an American because of what it stood for. And with such division right now, I think that's something we need to get back to is just, I don't care. And I say it all the time. I don't care what side you fall on. I mean, there's a golden rule for a reason. Treat others how you want to be treated. Do you want to be treated with respect? Treat them with respect. Don't cuss each other out because you're sitting there and we have different things. I'm not going to talk to you because you don't agree with me. No, just I'm going to respect you. You respect me, and we call it a day. I mean, we don't have to hang out. I want to treat you with respect.
Exactly. I mean, we're all here to be allowed to have our own views and stuff on life. Now that given, I may not agree with everything, but give me the opportunity to understand why you have these views. Explain to me in non-angry, non-biased terms in reason of why you believe in this. Allow me the opportunity to see why you believe in it. And that's where we've come to too, is the people that are like, I believe in this and this is what's right. Why? Why? Just tell me why you believe in this. Give me reasons and facts, or give me what gave you the cause to believe in that. And that's where we've lost most focus on everything, is nobody wants to explain why. And then the few that do, we've got each side that goes, no, the side. That's what pisses me off. I'm tired of sides. I'm tired of left and right.
I think we're getting more on the line of my podcast and not yours.
Oh, well, like I said, we'll get into a few different things. I don't mind going too far. I mean, we're not going to talk I don't mind getting into certain things in here. Like I said, this is still about interviewing people. Down the road, eventually, I mean, there's going to be more stuff that comes up in these podcasts, but these Difocasts are about interviewing different streamers. Obviously, we'll interview other people down the road, but right now, for the next year at least, it's going to be just interviewing streamers. And I understand that some people aren't going to like certain things that are going to be said, but I do this to be able to hear and see what other people's opinions are on things. just because what somebody says on the other side of that screen, the other half of this video chat, doesn't mean that's the Difo's outlook on things. That just means that's the person we talk to.
Yeah, we're all entitled to our own opinions.
And if you don't believe in that, fuck off. I don't even just be a little more open-minded. Just give people the opportunity to explain why they have what they have.
Yeah.
Or be the person that explains. Don't be closed-minded about it. We all live here for a reason, to be free and to be able to converse and bring all of ourselves together.
Yeah, we got to get back to being able to have conversation. Conversation is something that has been lost so much, especially over the last 4 years. It has been lost. And that's something we need to get back to, is being able to sit down and have a conversation and keep it civil. You say what you want to say, I say what I want to say. We try and rebuke each other or whatever, but keep a civil conversation. That's something we need to get back to.
Yeah, 100%, exactly. We've lost so much from that. And one thing too that is like, because like politics have always been a touchy subject for a lot of people. And I mean, even back to when I was a little kid, nobody ever talked politics. You don't talk politics unless
You don't talk politics or religion at the dinner table.
Yes, unless you grow up with a religious people. I and religion's one of those things.
That's a saying. That's a rule for a reason.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
it's
a rule
a
for a
good
reason.
rule to follow. There's a really good rule to follow, and I wish a lot of people would follow that rule. There's I got a lot of family that's into religion's one of those things too that I'm really open about. I very open-minded. I do a lot of research on all the different types. I don't know a lot. I'm not somebody to come to for questions. I do my research that helps me give my opinion on what I like to believe in. And I don't care. You believe in what you want to believe in. What it comes, like I told a customer the other day, I had a guy that I'm not Christian. I don't follow that kind of stuff. I don't have anything against people that do though. And I had a guy the other day that kept trying to tell me, and I wasn't like telling him no. He no matter what I said or how I went with the conversation, he just kept telling me about Jesus Christ helping him with this. I'm like, okay, not the right way to go about that if you're trying to get somebody to see your views. Pushiness doesn't get you where you want to be. But like I told him, I said, no matter what it comes down to, no matter what you believe in when it comes to religion, from what I've seen, the research I've done, as a humankind, we need something to believe in to get through life.
It's so true. It's so true. And I'm at a point where, I mean, I have my personal beliefs. I do. They are what they are. But having some sort of purpose is important. You know, you can understand it being married. You know, my wife and then my kids are a purpose. Serving my veteran community is a purpose. But you got to find something to hold on to drive you.
Yeah, because like I was telling that guy too, because he was like talking about souls and stuff and us having souls, and I'm like, whether we have a soul or whether it is just a freaking energy that's there in the body, whether it's just the electric force that keeps things flowing, because obviously when we're gone, you look, there's just nothing there. There's no spark. And no matter what it is, if you don't have something to believe in to get you through life, to help give you that motivation, it's gonna dull. It's gonna weaken. It's gonna dull. It's gonna give you a lesser of a happy life. And like I say, I don't care if you believe in a dude in a white dress up in the sky or if you worship a cow. If it helps you and it doesn't harm other people, fucking believe in it. Believe that cow is gonna get you through life. That squirrel where he hides his nuts is how you should hide your stuff. Squirrel? Exactly. Squirrels, man. One of my favorite things is the Norse style. I love that. I don't believe in a lot of the pagan stuff because it gets a little sacrificial stuff is kind of bothersome to me. I'm not a big fan of that. But people believing in and I think one of the biggest things that draws me more towards that, but I like it, but it's not something I say. I wouldn't say, oh, I'm a Norse pagan or I'm a heathen and stuff like that. But it's the individuality. It's one of those religions that allows you to be yourself. And they don't And even that though too, they still to a point where they stop you and they want you to do certain things, and that's why I like the whole pagan thing. I don't like. I grew up. I have, and I can't remember. Like I said, I'm not good for asking these questions too. I have the typical basic Christian family. I have a lot of Catholics. There's a lot of Portuguese in my family. There's I had one of my best friends growing up in high school was a Mormon, and then I have okay. There's the only times that I say I won't associate. It's very rare that I'll be like, no, I have nothing to do with that. My real great grandfather, which I never talked to, had nothing to do with, was a Pentecostal preacher. And I don't know if you know.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some things.
Yeah, they're crazy. There's very few religions where I'll be like, you guys are psychotic. Like, that ain't right. That's one of them. But it still comes down to, no matter what it is, you've got to have something to give you to believe in. And whether it's a book that's been rewritten 40 times or if it is a sheet floating in the wind, allow it to give you motivation.
My thing is, believe what you want. I mean, I have my own personal religious beliefs. You have your personal religious beliefs. Believe what you want, but I'm not one to tell anybody that their belief is wrong, because it's your belief. Like, you're going to believe what you want to believe in. It's the same way I think of, everything else, whether it comes to politics or how you live your life on a daily basis. I mean, there are some ways people live their life that I don't agree with. But I'm not going to tell someone that their religious belief, depending on whether they have one or not, is wrong, because it's you. You're the one who's going to have to. You're the one living that way, and how you live your life, depending on what you believe in, is going to ultimately give the outcome that the way you lived your life is going to give you. Like I said, I have mine, and other people have theirs, and I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I'm not one of those people. I'll say it. I am a Christian. I'm not the most active one, but I am. But I'm not going to say that because you believe in the Norse religion, or whatever they call it, culture, I think is the right one. It's more of a culture. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you're wrong. Who am I to say you're wrong? No, I'm not wrong, and you're right. I don't know.
My biggest thing is question everything.
Oh, yes.
See, and that's the thing.
Yes.
Mine, and I like how you say culture, because I like more now, as far as like when it comes to the Norse stuff, I like their culture and the way they live their life with a lot of things. But now, like when it comes to the gods, I have a different outlook on that, though. I don't believe that they were these, like the whole Odin thing. I don't believe he's this high, powerful, necessarily this god that overlooks all of us. I do believe that maybe he was a man that was a wanderer that's seen a lot of different, because if you read a lot of different books and stuff and a lot of stories that supposedly came from him, I believe he was a wanderer that came across many people that had no drive and nothing to believe in life. So by him telling his stories, and maybe some were exaggerated, but like I was talking to my wife one day, because like they talk about the stories of Odin and these giant wolves and stuff he was with. Odin was supposed to be a large man. Large back then could have been a 6'2" man, and your average person was 5'4", 5'5". You bring us, like, when I say
I was slightly above average back then. Nice,
right? I stand up next to my wife that's 5'4", and I look like a giant. I mean, that's how it is. And back in the day, if you weren't used to seeing those, now we're used to seeing people like that. I'm 6'2", 300 pounds. I'm a big dude. My wife can literally hide behind me because I'm a broad guy. And I mean, if back in the day when you're used to seeing people that small and somebody else comes along, I think it was one of those things that he told stories of his travels, and it helped give people something to believe in. And I don't, like I said, it just have something to believe in and follow your passion, but question everything. If you're going to believe in it, make sure it's something that you can 100% back and you believe it's true.
But at the same time, like you said, you do have to question. So being a Christian that I am, where are the dinosaurs? That's always been a thing for me. Where are the dinosaurs?
Well, I was actually just watching.
Those are real. Those are real. Okay.
Well, I was actually just watching a thing on that. So supposedly So what you see is the T-Rex. They're calling it a conspiracy theory, but the T-Rex supposedly, because now we found out the T-Rex wasn't all scales. It was actually like 90 or 95% fur, or not fur, feathers. The T-Rex was actually covered in feathers. They're also saying that now that supposedly the front arms on those short, tiny little arms that the T-Rex has were actually
I got a
supposed to.
big head and tiny arms.
Yeah. Well, so real quick on that. So the conspiracy theory behind it, they're finding proof that supposedly those arms were supposed to be rotated 180 degrees. And
I mean, we really don't know because we're just finding bones.
well, exactly.
Like,
So, but when they look at it, so like the video I watched yesterday, if you rotate those arms 180 degrees, you look at the bone patterns of how they're made up, they are almost identical to an ostrich. So they're believing with the size that the T-Rex was actually a giant bird, a non-flying.
dude, that would scare the shit out of me.
Right, big.
What the hell?
I'd be more scared of this giant chicken thing than I would be of just this giant.
I'm sorry, but if I see a giant chicken with arms like this coming at me, dude, I'm gonna be terrified. I'm gonna run. You know, the current thing with the T-Rex that we believe is if I stand still and I don't move, it won't see me. But you see this feather thing with arms like this, yeah, I'm taking off that way, and you're not gonna catch me. I'm gonna trip someone on my way out of there.
Well, that's the thing too. Though. I'm pretty sure that's why we haven't followed that, because that makes it more scary. Because how do chickens eat? How do ostriches eat? They peck the ground. They peck at anything and everything. Whereas where we thought that the T-Rex was just a meat-eating man-eater that only went after something that was big enough, like a shark, for it to eat, or as far as like a shark would go after a dolphin or something like that. That's not as scary as knowing that if it was like an ostrich and it's just giant chicken bird thing, it's just gonna peck at anything it sees on the ground, whether it believes it's big enough to fill it up or not. You're not getting away.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You may be 6 foot whatever and 300 whatever pounds, and I might be 5'8", old with arthritis on my knees. But I'm gonna break your kneecap and I'm gonna run that way. I just gotta outrun you. I don't gotta outrun the bird. I just gotta outrun you.
Right. That's where the nickname Bear comes in. I may not be very fast for a long distance, but I'm pretty fast for a very short distance. So as long as I can get somewhere to hide from the giant chicken, I should be good to go.
Yeah, that would. Oh man, I need to watch that because I haven't heard that. That's the first time I'm hearing of that.
Yeah, I actually found it on TikTok, and I'll try and find another video on it. But it actually makes a lot more sense than if you watch. So the way because like we originally seen it as it was supposed to be like these hands, but it doesn't make any sense because it's only like a 2-bone structure that comes out at the end of the arm. Whereas like if you look at the bone structure of like an ostrich, it's the same thing flipped around backwards. It's a 2-bone for a wing. And the way it would place like that would fit for a wing.
I already don't want to be around ostriches, but now you got it in my mind that, you know, I definitely am going to kind of stay away from that because I'm going to look at it and be like, are you a T-Rex? Is that what you are?
A descendant of a T-Rex?
But you know what? I'm going to ride you. I'm going to do it just so I can say I rode a T-Rex.
I'd probably crumble an ostrich. I don't get the joys of that kind of stuff. Man, as big as I do, I'd kill the damn thing. It may be big, but those little legs are going down.
I rode an elephant one time. That was interesting.
I hear that's supposed to be pretty cool. I haven't gotten the opportunity to do that. I haven't really traveled outside the States or anything or been to a zoo with an elephant, so.
It was interesting. Let's just say that. It's not the most comfortable.
I hear they're very majestic creatures, though.
They are. They really are. They're pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to put them anywhere near my top. But they're pretty fucking cool. And if you can ride one, if you ever get a chance to ride an elephant, do it. Just check it off the bucket list. I've done a lot of dumb things in my life just because it was a bucket list item to say I did it.
I think elephants are or every time I hear about somebody riding an elephant, it's one of those things that, yeah, everybody says it gives you a different outlook on life because of how they are as creatures and how they live and just the way they treat one another. Kind of makes you look at things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Because they're such
It did at that time, and then it went back to the real world, and I was like, oh, okay, where's the elephant?
Oh, no more elephants. We don't have any elephants here. There's a reason for it. But yeah, no, yeah, a lot of good things gone over today. Yeah, just always come back to just be humble, Be humble and question life. Question everything. Whether it comes down to
Yes.
your streams, just question it. As long
And
as
that is a big thing with streaming is be humble.
Yeah.
Because the most important, I've heard a lot of people say this, and it's so true. The best way that we feel that we're being like, I know for me as a streamer and as someone who goes into people's streams, is these people are giving you their time. And time is precious. Time is one of the most precious things that we have in life. And the fact that people are willing to give you 5 minutes, or they're willing to be in your stream for 4, 5, however many hours, they're investing their time in you.
Yeah.
So be humble and be grateful that anybody is investing time in you, whether it's one person or you're one of those people who's got 40 some odd thousand people, or some dude the other day had 2.4 million people watching his stream. 2.4 million people watching his stream. I hopped in it just to see if the number was real, and it was.
Doing what? What was he doing?
He was talking. He was some sort of Spanish guy. I don't know. I'm just saying it because I don't know what he classified, what it is. But he had 2.4 million people in his stream.
So you said Spanish. Was he speaking like Spanish too? Did you understand?
He was speaking some sort of
other language.
Language I didn't understand.
I'm kind of curious to know what he was talking about.
Some language I don't understand, but 2.4 million. So like I said, you could have one person who's in there all the time talking to you, or you have 2.4 million people. These people are investing their time in you.
Yes.
So be humble and don't forget that that's one of our most precious things in life, because there's other things we could be doing, but we're giving you our time. And I appreciate anyone who gives me their time, especially like people like you or other people who are at work. Like you're at work and you're tuning into my stream at whatever time it is.
I try to show my support at any point in time, anytime I can.
And you guys are giving me time, and I don't know any other way other than just saying thank you and continuing to do the best I can, as a way of showing my appreciation for that. Because like I said, there's other things we could be doing with our lives.
Yeah. And that's why, and time too is one of those things, like the whole, like when I talked to you and Speed about the Difo community and adding you two as moderators in there, that's why I was saying what I was saying is it's one of those things. I understand it's a burden to be that. And I understand it's time that needs to be taken, because that community is going to be one of those things where it needs to be watched. People need to be able to keep an eye on things that are going on in there. And that's why I waited, and I didn't want to put that on people until I knew that you guys understood it's a lot to ask. And you guys are so busy and stuff like that. I don't like to put burdens on people that they aren't not necessarily ready for, but aren't given the expectations to.
Well, and I can't speak for Speed, but I can speak for me. I understand it. I'm a part of, I'm not just a mod in like one channel. I have a list of channels.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it because one, I know what it needs. I have the ability to do it. I have the support to do it. From my wife and my kids, I have the support to do it. My kids will be like, "Who are you botting for today?" And I'll be like, "Let me look at the list and the schedule." But we get it, and for me, I'm not willing to do it if it's not something that I believe in or it's not someone that I support. I mean, no, so I didn't see her in here, but I went into Not Your Mama's stream the other day, and I hadn't been in her stream before, so I was like, I'm gonna hop in here, and you know what, I'm gonna see if I can break this girl. I'm gonna see if I can break her. So I gave some bits and some subs, and she all of a sudden made me a mod, and it's like, I mean, I appreciate it if that's your way of saying thank you, but when you're building a community, be careful who you give moderator access to. I've had people ask, like, why haven't you made me a mod? It's like, well, honestly, I think your personal opinions on things and the way that you are is not going to be beneficial to, I think someone's going to say something and instantly you're going to hit that ban button. And then I'm going to have to be like, dude, just don't, just don't.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of mods in my stream. A couple of my mods are people that have just been there from the beginning. I don't have a lot of mods that are in there constantly. I actually don't really have. Yeah, I don't really have a mod that's constantly in mine, but that's one of those things. I don't really run into too many issues in my streams. I don't put up with bullshit though, like the whole issue with that lovely friend that our friend Corey and Clean were dealing with. I put it into that shit quick. I'm not, as soon as it started happening, I made sure that ended. The whole community that was in there watching went against that. I don't deal with that. I'm not going to deal with some piece of shit troll coming in. And that's the thing too, though, is certain times it's allowed to get to a certain point. And when you allow it to affect you, it's going to continue to happen. And as long as you do, make sure you do have just make sure you do have good mods and stuff. I'm a mod in a few different ones, but I can't be all that active. And I've told people, I was like, I'll help as I can when I can be here. But with everything that I have going on, I can't just sit here and be a mod. And that's why I don't have anybody that I've had to do that with. And that's the thing too, though, is like, if anybody that were to add a mod to my channel, I need to know that there's no like opinionation to anything, and there's no like attitude and no wrong things being said.
Yeah, the mod, as a mod, you have to mod for the benefit of the stream and the benefit of the streamer, not your own personal opinion on things. But
yeah,
you should always like ask, when you're talking to people, like if you're gonna be like, hey, I would like to make you a mod, you need to have that conversation offline and be like, these are what I expect. This is what I expect to be done with my stream. I allow a little bit more in my stream than like some people do.
Same.
I did get the first a couple streams ago. I got the first trolls. So someone donated me $100 million. Oh,
nice.
I never saw the animation pop up, but someone donated 100 million. And I laughed about it. It was funny. I was like, dude, I can just walk off stream right now. Deuces, I'm out. And then someone did come in and wrote, America, fuck yeah, bombing innocent civilians with drones. And I was just like, it was banned so quick. And then I just joked about it. I'm like, okay, yeah, you can kick rocks, bro. Like,
yeah,
later, like people know what to expect in my stream. I'll say things. I'm going to talk my way. I'm going to act my way. There's certain things I don't talk on that stream.
Yeah.
But I do let a little bit more go.
One thing too, though, you got to realize too, like, who you're going to pick for a mod, and make sure there's somebody that's going to, like we said, follow, or that's going to mod properly to what you enjoy. But also, depending on that person, like the reason I haven't let EDA be a mod yet is because you take it too seriously, and I don't want to add more things to your list. And that's why you're not one in mine. I appreciate you and I love what you do, but I know how you are.
I'm sorry I take my job seriously.
That's the problem. I'm not going to put more work on you because I know how you are. You're always here. And that's the thing too. I don't really have a whole lot of a need for a lot of mods because I don't really run into too many issues, but I also don't have a lot of, I guess I don't get a whole lot of viewers, but it's one of the, I don't know. I don't want to put, when I know somebody puts that much dedication into it, I don't want to add the extra stress. And because I know how you are.
I like what I do. For me, it's like I had this conversation with Clean. So when I wasn't a mod in Clean stream at all. Him and I talked offline one day about, I wanted to pick his brain on ways to like improve the stream. And he brought it up to me. He's like, dude, I just don't want to put too much on you because, you're building your own thing and stuff. I'm like, dude, if something that you want, you feel I'd be good at, I'm in here because I want to be. Like, I'm in the streams because I want to be there. I want to be supportive and I want to help any way I can. And I told him, I'm like, dude, if you feel like I'd be a good fit for your community as a mod, cool, let's do it. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, it's fine. I enjoy doing what I do online as a streamer and offline as a supporter, as a mod, as whatever. And I have the ability. Like I said, I have the ability.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need to make me a bot. I'm just saying like my story of it is.
Yeah, no, I get what you're getting at, and I've thought about it.
It's something that I don't mind doing, and yeah, I take it seriously because I want those people whose communities I'm a part of to be successful. And if my way of helping them is helping moderate their channel and keeping an eye out what's going on and hyping up the channel and, clipping funny shit, because like I will clip the most badass move that you did, but I'm also going to clip the funniest dumb shit that you said.
Yeah. I've noticed
I do it all the time in clean stream, all the time.
Yeah. And that's how it should be.
I did it in Corey's last night. Like you say some embarrassing shit, dude, I'm going to clip that for you and I'm going to share it with the chat so they can go watch it. And hopefully you make a TikTok out of it because it's funny.
See, and that's what cracks me up is I've seen a few people unmod people because of that. I'm like, have some fun and enjoy what you're doing. I mean, things happen, but I don't. I see that you have schedules. You set schedules, and you know when certain people are going to be there, so you could be in there to make sure you're modded. I'm like, I don't want to add to your list. Like, I know you would do an amazing job at it, and there's no doubt about that. I don't like putting burdens on people. I don't like adding to people's stress. Now, if I could add you and know that you weren't gonna make like a dedicated time away from everything you're doing to do that, I would do it.
Well, I'm not saying that I won't make a dedicated time, but I'm saying I wouldn't make a dedicated time either.
See, that's the comments right there that I know how you work. That's why I haven't added, because I'm sure that list is already this long of just
there are times when, because so for like me, Speed, Kilo, and Clean, like are the core 5 of us. We all have like a different schedule. We stream at different days or the same day but at different times. We have a set thing like that, and it's for a reason. It's for a reason because we're there to help that community like go to the next level. But there are times where even when this guy is streaming, someone who's not part of that core, and I'm a mod for this person, I'll have like 3 or 4 tabs up as a mod at one time.
Yeah.
Like Vanguard and Bad and Boovie were playing last night, and they were playing together. And they were doing, so you can actually there's a program, a website you can go to where you can do multi-stream. So you can have one link where they can go and have all the streams up at one time. And you just click on that stream and it brings up that chat box. So you can chat without having different tabs. And he's like, hey, go hop in the multi-link. And so I just wrote back, no. And he was telling everybody in the stream that, but I just wrote back, no. And he's like, yes, go do it. I was like, dude, I can't. I have to be in mod view, and I can't be in mod view in co-stream because I'm modding for both of you and you're both streaming right now at the same time. So yeah. I got to have that mod view open so I can, do what I got to do.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I was just being a smart ass because that's who I am, and I'm going to be a smart ass. And if you don't like it, well, then kick rocks, go somewhere else because that's who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I think? You know what I know this is your stream. This is your podcast, but I know people love watching me suffer. So I think for your guys,
so
I'm going to do a Bean Boozled.
Okay. So real quick though, like everybody keeps saying that. So yes, it is my podcast. It is the Difocast. The Difocast though is interviewing streamers. So I want to see, I'm in here and we're doing these interviews to see how these people work and what goes on. If you want to do a little bit of the thing of what you do in your things, do it.
So one of the things I know my community loves seeing, they love seeing me suffer.
Don't they all?
So for anyone who's listening to the podcast via Spotify, Bean Boozled is the good or bad tasting jelly bean. So I know like they had a Harry Potter version of jelly beans where it was good or bad. Jelly Belly has the Bean Boozled. And so, I got the cool thing where you slide it up, slide it down, it puts one up at the top.
Huh. Never seen that.
So you have anywhere from good flavors such as toasted marshmallow, birthday cake, strawberry banana smoothie, which I finally got the other day and it was actually really good. Or you have horrible flavors such as rotten egg, barf, dead fish, stinky socks, things like that.
Sounds like there's more bad than good in that, though.
Shout out to Speed Eraser. He has merch. It's never peach. So it's either peach or barf flavor on one of them. And the poor dude never gets peach.
Oh.
So the slogan every time he pulls one is it's never peach. And he actually made a shirt that says it's never peach because it's actually been a thing.
It's never peach.
So the one I just pulled, it's either going to be birthday cake or dirty dishwater.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know.
I know what I'm hoping for.
I know what everyone's hoping for. Everyone who's hoping for, including the listeners who are listening on the podcast, are hoping for dirty dishwater.
I mean, hey,
I am hoping for a birthday cake. I've never had the birthday
suffrage
cake one yet. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and eat this. I'm going to let you know how it is.
Oof. Oof.
And yeah, no, that's dirty dishwater. That's a real quick. It's real quick.
Oh.
So for the listeners, I don't know if you've ever washed dishes and you let your pans and stuff soak in the water because, you got the crusties in there.
Ooh.
And then you had the clean water and then it turns really nasty and then you're scrubbing really hard and you get a little bit of that dishwater in your mouth. That's what this tastes like. And it doesn't taste good at all.
I couldn't imagine there being any good to dishwasher. I mean, unless you just had like a nice lasagna dinner and it's the only thing being washed in there.
It's still not going to be good because it's going to be watered down marinara sauce and cheese and mozzarella and it's going to not be good. But yeah, that's something that we do on the stream. It's a channel point redemption. There's a few of us that have it. Why we all decided it was such a good idea, I don't know.
Simple and fun. I think that's one thing too that people need to focus on is if with chat interaction, having things like that makes a big difference. If they have something they can interact with you with, my interactions are a little weird. We're not going to really talk about mine on here. Or crack up.
Yeah. Can you hear? How are the ringing in the ears right now?
It's been enough time. We're good to go. It's I do need to change that. I learned regret of having an air horn at 25 cents a piece. You get that right, those right people, and they don't mind spending $10 a piece.
When you got a good friend like EDA who's willing to text people and be like, "Hey, this dude's got air horn for 25 cents. They go blow it up," and they're like, "Say less."
Dude, it broke my stream. It broke the sound alerts to the point where they couldn't even come through. There was one point where you guys were all busy and everybody dropped one where it waited almost 5 minutes before it could put anybody's sound alerts through again. It was so bad because even Essen popped in and goes to play like the fart or something. Wouldn't even play because it was so delayed and so confused on how many times the air horn was played on that stream. Oh God, that was absolutely hilarious.
There's another streamer. His name is Holy Thy Sooner or Holy Name Sooner. It's something like that. I just call him Sooner. He has the air horn thing too on his stream, but it was 100 bits. And I hopped in there one day and we were blowing it up at 100 bits at a time. And his are louder. His is louder than yours.
I turned mine down after a while because what you guys were hearing was even louder in my ears.
Yeah, his was loud. And even on stream, it was loud. And it was getting blown up. And he was like, "I'm just gonna ban the next person who does it." So I remember Big Rob Energy coming in and he's like, "Hey, I got something really important to tell you. You want to hear it?" And he's like, "I swear to God, if you hit," and then he hits the button. and blows his ears out. And it was like your 50, and we probably hit him with. He probably made $50 just off air horns.
Oh, geez.
So I go into his next stream, and he has it set at 300 bits.
Bet.
Let's just say it still got blown up.
Oh,
he made a bunch of money just on the air horns at 300 bits.
Yeah, that's oof. Luckily, I'm not that big yet to where people want to drop that much, which I mean, yeah, it'd be nice. What's dropped, but oof.
I mean, realistically, I mean, if we're talking, if you want to, you're bringing up, you're not that big yet. You guys realistically have the same amount of like, he had a bit more viewers in there at the moment, but you guys are about the same size realistically.
Oh, geez.
It was just the community. The community's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to just drop all this money and blow his ears out to where he's taking it off and staring at the camera and giving you the eye. Like, I'm going to murder all of you.
I understand the feeling. I do understand the feeling to the point where I had to turn my headphones to just be able to hear everything that was going on. Cause it was I couldn't even hear the game. And I run my sound down a little bit. That way the game and the people talking don't overpower me. And the
good thing is, it's not like I've seen your air horn in there, and I've done it like on a rare occasion, along with some of the other sound bites that we play. That I do usually every time I show up in there. I like to announce my presence. It's a thing. Hey, I'm here. But it's just it's fun, and it's not an every time thing. You're not going to get hit with 53. I think by the end of it was 53 air horns.
Yeah, 53 air horns within a half hour, 45 minute span, whatever the 15-second between each one allowed,
and the 5-minute delay because it was broken.
Yeah. Because there was,
it's not going to be in everything. It was just it's a fun night, and that's the thing for any streamer, any future streamer. Anyone who doesn't have anything, put some things on there to make it interactive. Sound alerts.
There's so many different things you can add easily like that. Like sound alerts is very simple to set up, and you can put it in channel points, and you can put it in your about so people can pay for it or however they want to do it.
But, yeah, you can do channel points. You can give free ones. You can give bits on them. You can change the bits. I know some people have certain sounds that are horrible they don't want to hear, and it costs quite a bit. Like I think I got Baby Shark at like 500. I don't want to hear that, but if you want to play it, it's going to cost you.
Yeah, see, I don't have.
It's a fun thing to do with. So if you end up joining like playing like scary games, I know a lot of streamers will put the jump scare ones on there.
Yeah,
and so,
you can definitely add a lot of interactive ones. That there's so many different sounds that have been uploaded to that, so it gives you the opportunity to have things that. Like my main sound, the one you use every time you hop in, and then that's been the most popular lately. What's funny is that my wife and I were sitting here, we were digging through the different sounds, and I was trying to find ones I liked, different ones I wanted to hear. There's like 2 that I want to change, but I clicked on that one, and it was the funniest freaking thing. We both just giggled, like it was hilarious because it was just the way the guy says it. And then we ended up putting that on there, and then it turned out to be it's the full stream joke now, and it's turned into the SDS squad and everything that's come out of it.
Become its own thing.
Yeah, and it's things like it's funny too because it's amazing how many people would get embarrassed over something like that. Because every time I hop in somewhere, like Speed will make a comment and brings that up and says stuff like that. And I'm like, send it, bro.
Hey, if it grows into something, hey, you never know.
If it grows into something
such as that can grow into something. Now, yeah, that's a merch idea for you. Make it a T-shirt.
If it can grow into something,
exactly.
If it grows, it shows.
Hey, that's a thing. Okay, that's a thing.
It's not a show. It's your next small. Yeah. No, those are funny. Just in a different type of interactions is what matters, and it's just being able to get to talk to people. That's what's fun. I see a lot of streamers anymore that I've run into that I go to watch, and there's just no interaction. There's nothing to interact with. And then you go look in their about, and there's a donate. Oh, please donate to me. I'm like, I want to help, but you're losing me. You're losing me right off the bat there.
Yeah, one of the ones I love, I have it set for subscribers, is walk-on sounds. So it's a extension that you have where your subscribers can pick a specific sound that when they join the stream, it'll play that sound.
Really?
So it's like Speeds is perfect. It's the Speed Racer like intro.
Yeah.
Here comes, but it's like a creepy voice. It's like Speed Racer, here he comes. You know, it's him. So you guys can all, as a subscriber, it's on the About Me page. You can go on there and pick a walk-on sound that says, "I'm here."
Oh, really? That's nice to know. Speaking of subscriber thing, that's one thing people can do too, which I just found out recently. So with Discord, you can set up to where only certain people that so like you can have all your channels, anybody can join your Discord, but you can set it up to where only subscribers can see certain channels. It'll link directly with your Twitch. So once they subscribe, it opens up a spot that they can see on your Twitch, allows them to click on a link, and now they can see more channels in your Discord. So if you're trying to start a community and you're wanting to build, but you're worried about the type of people that might just join in there from seeing the links everywhere, you can do that to where you can have a general chat where anybody can be, or you can have subscriber specific stuff.
Yeah, I'm a part of a few Discords that have like subscriber only chats and things like that.
Yeah, allows the opportunity for different things, especially like if you're going to do any kind of giveaways or stuff like that that are subscriber only, or
just... that brings up a good another piece of advice. If you are starting a stream and you're starting off, don't have your chat to follower only. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because you may have someone, because not everybody is going to want, who pops in your stream is going to want to follow you right away. They're not going to want to hit that follow button. They're going to want to interact with you and see if there's someone that they actually want to follow. And I've hopped in a few streams where it's like follower only, and that's the only way to get to talk to them. And I'm like, well, I want to kind of like talk to this person and interact with them and see who they are before I hit that follow button.
Yeah, exactly. Which actually, that reminds me, I need to change mine too, because I had it set to follower chat due to the issue we had a while back with that troll dude. I said that and I haven't turned it off since. Glad you brought that up. I'll have to get that taken care of before I'm done with this, or before.
Yeah, that's a piece of advice for anybody. You know, it makes it like, especially when people want to do a raid and they want to send a raid your way. That means that every person that they're bringing is going to have to hit that follow button before they can even drop hype emotes and like raid and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of just takes away from the raid a little bit.
Yeah, ruins the excitement of it. Because then they don't want to have to follow you, but they want to be part of the raid. And that's the thing too, though, is that's one thing I look at is if you don't want to follow me but you want to interact, that's fine. You don't need to, because certain people only want to follow so many people. And that's completely understandable to me. I mean, there's a lot of I follow a lot of people, so I
know the feeling.
It's a constant scroll. You go scrolling through. I'm like, who's not affiliate? Okay. I'm like, yeah. I'll throw that. I was like, then I'll start. I start with who's not affiliate, and then I go to who needs the emotional support, who needs to see the higher numbers. I'll throw those in there, and then I'll usually do, because I can do, depending on how I set it up, I'll have anywhere from 10 to 15 streams on between my 3 monitors. And then I'll start going to the people that I really enjoy watching and add those up on the top of there. So, but being that where it's at, there's been a lot of good advice that's come out today. I really enjoyed this podcast today. A lot of great things came from this. We are almost 2.5 hours in. That was a pretty good one. Some amazing advice.
This is what my streams are, just chatting. So this is perfect.
Exactly. That's it. And that's what I wanted this to be more of, is it talking and just letting people chat and open up. If you kind of keep things too much of a set plan basis, I've watched a few different, because there's not a lot of podcasts out there based around streamers and gamers and stuff like that. The ones that are, the quality is not the greatest. I'm not saying my quality is good. I mean, not what I'm getting at, but there's the quality is not the greatest, or they have too much of a set plan the way they do things. It's a 1 through 5. They have to run along that list of the way they do the podcast, and it's got to be a certain amount. I'm not worried about how long it goes. If the podcast turned in, I'm not going to do like a 5-hour one, because then nobody's going to want to listen to it when it comes down to like on the Spotify. But just allow people to be open. That's what I'm all for. I want to see the real person, not just whatever they want to. Yeah. Aside from being able to see you, because I can see those pretty ass from here.
Hey,
But I do appreciate it. I was glad to have you on today.
hey, thanks for
Really
having me. I enjoyed
exciting.
it.
Of course, man. It was really nice. Looking forward to this one for a while. I'm glad we got to get it together, and I can't even express how much I appreciate having you here. Everything you do for the community, all the people that you do help, the moderations places you moderate, the just being in the community. The quote of the day, man. The quote of the day makes such a big difference for so many people. I love seeing them. I love reading the different ones. It makes a big difference, and it's the little things that help so many people, and that's why I really do appreciate having you in the community.
Yeah, the quote of the day is like, so I started doing quote of the days. Like I find, so the way I do it is I find one that hits me personally. I will scroll through the internet, through the Google on so many different pages and just try and find the right one that's going to hit me. Cause there's billions of quotes out on the internet, so many.
Yeah.
I try and find one that hits me and then I'll share it and hopefully it'll help at least one person. Maybe it'll make one person's day better. Maybe it'll hit them right in the feels, which I know it does because I do have people in the Discords, guys. I share it in every single Discord I'm a part of. I post the quote of the day. So I wake up in the morning, I have my coffee, or even I'll just lay in bed before I get out of bed. I will grab my phone and post the quote of the day. And hopefully it makes a difference in somebody's day because that's what it's about. It's about helping somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. And that's we don't there's a lot of us out there that look at it that way, and that's one thing I love about the Diffo, the way it's turned into that. And there's going to be a lot of people out there that don't look at it that way, but they don't matter. Don't worry about them. Don't let them get you down on things. But those quotes, man, I love seeing those. It's that little extra boost during the day. And I know for a fact there's multiple people that have made comments to me about that. I've actually been asked by a few people to put a channel just for you for the quote of the day. And I've debated it, but at the same time, I like the idea of having it, which we might talk about this later, but I like the idea of having it in general chat because then it gets posted where everybody can see it. However, though, we might do a channel for you. You might get your own EDA channel.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So in the Diffo community, I've been thinking about it because I've actually had several people bring it up. Several people have brought it up about putting it in the Diffo community to have, because there's been channels that I've made for people that they didn't get attention and they didn't do what they said they would do with it. But I know you would, and I know people absolutely love seeing those quotes, and it makes a big difference. So, just a heads up, you might get your own channel here soon.
Oh man, I'm making it big now.
Oh yeah, getting popular, getting popular. So, but like I said, I do really appreciate having you on, man. It was great talking to you. Amazing advice, just great things to hear. You're an awesome dude. Keep up the freaking work, man. You are helping so many people, and I know you understand to a point some of the people you've helped, but you don't even understand how many people appreciate you, and on the level that of need that the level of need of having you there has made so much change in so many people's lives, and that's what it's all about.
You got to make a grown man cry.
Difo, do it for others, and you're a prime example, man. I mean, I talk to people. I've seen your name pop up in different places that people like. I know you aren't there because I'll watch and I'll check and see who's watching in the chat, and people will start talking about it, and they're just like, he's just a great guy, so supportive. And I've had a few people that have talked to me through Discord stuff, just telling me how the things you say and the things you do have made so much of a difference. And a lot of people will come to me with these things because of the Diffo, and what was starting that. I get people that come to me and want to be like, hey, this is just absolutely amazing. Or somebody like, oh, I'd love to hear this person on the podcast. And every time somebody brings up your name, it's always good. And out of everybody I follow and watch, I don't think I've heard as many different life-changing, happy comments from anybody else about a streamer aside from you. The difference you've made in so many lives is what matters. It's freaking awesome.
That's good to hear. I mean, I streaming is the quotes of the day, the streaming. I just want to try and make it helps me personally, but I really want to try and help someone else's day be a little bit better.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that helping yourself can help others too. helping yourself get to a better place or helping yourself stay in a better place can truly actually help others. And that's it shows, man, dude. I've every time your name gets brought up to somebody, even when I talk to a streamer or something about it, gets brought up, the light, the bright, pops in their eyes, the happiness, the joy. It's always something good, and that right there is one of the reasons. Like I said, Difo values, man, 100% Difo values. My only stipulation I've ever said since I started the Difo was just continue to spread the love you receive. And this guy has spread more love than has ever been given to him. He took that fucking slab of butter and spread it everywhere. Just a bunch of love butter everywhere.
I got words, but I'll say yes, exactly. I don't want to cuss too much, but I'll say yes,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, no, I get it. But yeah, we'll talk again soon. I'm sure we'll do a part 2 later on down the road.
I'm always down.
There's always gonna be a few that later on down the road we might actually do one also where we do like a multi one, and we'll do like a multi interview. So we might have you on for that with somebody else too, especially somebody like Speed when we finally get them in here. Add a little extra stress to them.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I know he'll down.
So, but yeah, I appreciate it, man. I thank you for coming in. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Before I leave, I do want to give a shout out to my wife and kids, because like I said, I can't do this. I can't do this without their support. And of course, to the Difo for having me on. It was great to be here. Love what you guys are doing, especially you, Bear, and where you're planning on going. You know, we've talked a bit about offline about the future. Can't wait to see it and be whatever small part of it I can help you guys reach that. And of course, shout out to the cleaning crew and the Freedom Front, because without those guys, I never would have started and kind of gotten to where I am and where I plan on going.
Yeah, actually, Clean. I happened to hop into one of his streams one day as he was raiding you. Is how I found you.
Yeah, without like Clean and the cleaning crew, I would have got to affiliate eventually, but with Clean and Corey, because those guys both rated me, I think the same night. That push to that affiliate, because he hit me up. He's like, "What do you think about hitting it by this date?" And I was like, I don't. Okay, if we can make it happen, cool. If it happens by then, cool. If not, whatever. It'll happen eventually. But without the push from those guys and the friendships that I've made through them, it's been a great experience, and I look forward to helping everybody that I can reach out. If if I haven't been in your stream, you can hit me up on Discord. You can hit me up on Twitch. I'll try and be there. There's only so many streams I can get to in a day. But I'll help you in whatever way I can, on or offline, to help get you to whatever your goal is.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. That's why the Difo there. That's why the Difo community Discord is there. It's a community literally to help everybody else in any which way impossible. If you need questions, if you have questions with something, you need help somewhere in any aspect of streaming, gaming, feel free to drop in, ask question. There's always people like myself, EDA. One of us is always willing to help. We've got amazing people in there, and just it's what we're about.
Don't come to me for tech advice. Go to Speed for that. I'm not going to help you with your tech stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm still figuring this stuff out every day.
Yeah, luckily we've got a couple of tech guys in the we got tech support in the community that are pretty good with that kind of stuff too. So and as things grow, we'll have more people to the point where no matter when you come in and ask questions, you'll be able to get an answer from it, because we'll have more people under tech support mods and stuff like that. But yeah, with that there, I'm gonna say it again because I always say it, because when I mean it, and I do, I appreciate having you in, man. It was a good chat.
It was. I'm glad to be here. It was an honor to be here to, talk with you about, streaming and all the stuff, and also the side conversations, away from the specific topics. It's always good. And can't wait to be on here again and catch the next one.
Definitely, man. All right. At that note, I will talk to you all later. Everybody have a great, absolutely amazing week. It's Sunday. Relax. Have fun for that start of the week on Monday. Later, guys.
Stay American.
Stay American.